The CBS special movies Challenge to be Free and Ivory, Ebony, and Jade will not be seen tonight, so that we may present Oriole baseball.
Baseball 79, brought to you by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Dotson says there's no better time than now to put your money in the bank, not in the tank. And Maryland National Bank, around the corner, all over the state, we're behind the birds. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Baltimore Orioles baseball. You're looking at Yankee Stadium, New York, and you can see what one of the problems is in the ballpark tonight. In Baltimore, we understand you're having a lot of rain, torrential kind of a thunderstorm. Here in the New York City area, intermittent showers, and they have decided here at 8 o'clock in the evening that they will uncover that an attempt, of course, will be made to play the ball game. And tonight we have Scott McGregor to pitch for the Orioles, and it'll be Louis Tiant for the New York Yankees. And according to the forecast that we have in the New York area, this game could be halted a couple of times due to the weather. Brooks, this evening, Tiant against McGregor, and we were concerned about the condition of Ed Figueroa, which is one part of the baseball story tonight. Of course, the other part, quite obviously, is the late New York Yankee catcher and the tragic and untimely death of Thurman Munson, about which we'll say a good deal more later on. But Figueroa, I understand, is going to have to be operated on. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, Chuck. He was looked at by Dr. Job, and they have some bone chips in his elbow, and it's recommended that he be operated on next week, which it will be done.
Well, tonight the Orioles and the Yankees are playing the first of a 4-game series that starts for New York, a 7-game homestand. The Yankees are coming off a 3-3 road trip, winning the last 3 in a row over the Chicago White Sox, and the Chicago White Sox have lost their manager. Don Kessinger, after losing 7 in a row, decided that he would resign, and La Russa has taken reins in Chicago. We will be back for the start of tonight's game after these messages.
To everybody who puts in a hard day's work, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
I'm Earl Weaver. You know, the Yankees and the Red Sox have nothing on us this year because we have a brand new member on our team. The SK Orioles hot dog. SK packs 8 big ones to a pound. So each one is plumper and juicier and filled with more of that fine taste and flavor that SK is famous for. SK Orioles hot dogs. At home or at the stadium, the only hot dog good enough to be called Orioles.
Well, this evening's environment and attitude and atmosphere at Yankee Stadium is hardly conducive to baseball. I'm sure all of you realize as we look in the Yankee dugout, a very somber Yankee dugout indeed. As the Oriole dugout is much the same way. All of the media, everybody connected with baseball, just finds it a little difficult to apply themselves to the job at hand. But this game is to be played. weather permitting. And with that thought in mind, I would like to give you a rundown on the batting orders for tonight's contest as we look at Randolph out there talking to one of his teammates. And it'll be Al Bumbry to lead off, playing in center field. Batting number 2 will be the Orioles shortstop, Mark Belanger. The number 3 hitter will be the right fielder, Ken Singleton. Batting 4 at first base is going to be Eddie Murray, and that's Oscar Gamble in the dugout with a cup in his hand. Batting 5 then will be John Lowenstein, the left fielder. The number 6 hitter will be Doug DeCinces, third baseman. Batting 7, the designated hitter tonight against Louis Tiant will be Pat Kelly. The number 8 hitter for the Orioles will be second baseman Rich Dauer. Batting 9 and catching is Rick Dempsey. Now the Yankees will bat in the following order. Leading off will be their second baseman, Willie Randolph. Batting number 2 and playing in center field tonight, just called up from Columbus, is a young man out of the Phillies came by the name of Bob Brown. The number 3 hitter will be the right fielder, Reggie Jackson, as you see Lou Piniella moving up and down in the Yankee dugout. Batting number 4 will be the left fielder, Lou Piniella. Batting 5 and at third base, Graig Nettles. The number 6 hitter will be the designated hitter for New York, and that will be Roy White. Batting 7 and playing at first base for New York this evening is the Baltimorean Jim Spencer. The number 8 hitter and the Yankee catcher tonight is Jerry Narron. Batting 9 and playing at shortstop will be Bucky Dent. And we've got one of baseball's more interesting pitchers to watch in the person of Louis Tiant. And Brooks, you've batted against Tiant many times in your great career, and I guess maybe the simplest way to find out what he throws is to ask if there is a pitch that he does not throw.
Chuck, he throws them all. He throws a fastball, curve, slider. The thing that makes him a successful pitcher is that he throws strikes from every position, sidearm or underhand, overhand, and he's been pitching very well of late. The hot weather seems to bring the best out in Louis Tiant. And this hot, muggy weather, which we're having now, he's pitched some good baseball the last 5 or 6 times out, and this is going to be a tough series. It's not one that's critical by any means, because as far as I see it, it's a 2-team race. The only thing that's important about this series, it'll determine what numbers or how far we're ahead of Boston when they finish with Milwaukee. But Louis Tiant can be extremely tough.
Well, the last time he worked, it was against Milwaukee Saturday, and Tiant had one of his infrequent 4 outings. Prior to the start of Milwaukee, he had been pitching very, very well. He was charged with a 9-2 loss. He went only 4 1/3 innings against Milwaukee and allowed 10 hits, 5 runs, walked a couple, didn't strike out anybody. Prior to that, he had a no decision in the Yankees' 6-5 win over the Angels, pitched very well. His last win was a complete game, 10-2 victory over the Oakland A's, July the 19th. Louis has won 3 of his last 5 decisions and 6 of his last 9, so as Brooks has pointed out, he really has been pitching very well. And against him is a young man who has also been pitching very well tonight, and that, of course, will be the Oriole right-hander or left-hander Scott McGregor. McGregor in the bullpen warming, and on the year, Scotty has won 6, lost 3. This will be his 13th start. He has thrown 3 complete ball games. 1 of those was a shutout. 102 third innings from McGregor, 86 base hits, 15 walks, and 44 strikeouts. Allowed only 40 runs, and has pitched to an earned run of 3.58. Scott McGregor. Any similarity at all between Scott and Tiant?
Not too much. Scotty really tries to keep the ball down more than most pitchers on our ball club. He has to be He has to keep it down to be successful, and he is not going to change his way of pitching just because we might be playing the Yankees. I talked to him before the ball game on how he was going to pitch most of the guys. He said, "Look, I'm going to go out there, find out what I've got working for me, whether my curveball or my fastball is sinking, and then stay with the strength."
Scott McGregor has won 6 of 7 decisions, including the last 3 in a streak that started on June the 11th. In his last outing Sunday in Kansas City, he got help from rookie Dave Ford and was credited with a 6-4 win over the Royals, and that had to be a great thrill for the young man from Cleveland. Ford to come into that ballpark in Kansas City and retired, 8 in a row, right, Brooks?
Yes, he did, and it was a big thrill for him, mainly because, Chuck, he's a starter. I think that's the first time he's been out in relief in his career almost. He's been starting the whole time. He's had some arm problems, and that was a tough situation to bring a young kid into, and he responded just beautifully.
I'll tell you a little talk to Ray Miller, the Orioles pitching coach, about Dave Ford. Remember, he came in and was in a lot of trouble and got 2 outs to end the inning. And then when he came into the dugout and sat down, to relax for a moment or two, the pitching coach, Rabbit Ray Miller, walked up and sat down alongside of him. And Dave Ford turned to Miller and said, "Now, how do I pitch the next 3 guys?" And so, that kind of a very positive attitude impressed the pitching coach, and it also impressed that fellow number 4, Earl Weaver. This kid didn't wonder about, 3, 4, or 5 guys the next inning. Only 3 concerned him, the 3 fellows he was going to get out. So Ford did do an excellent job. And Scotty McGregor was originally signed by the Yankees. And it's, I guess if there were probably the 2 fellows on the Oriole ball club that were closer to Thurman Munson than any other fellows in the ball club would be the 2 guys that are serving and forming the Oriole battery tonight. Rick Dempsey, the catcher, and Scott McGregor, the pitcher.
That's very true. And Rick Dempsey was very close to Thurman Munson. Thurman was his idol, so to speak. And he has really taken this much harder than most of the Orioles. It's a tragic thing to have happen, and it's just they're going to be paying tribute here tonight to him, Chuck. So,
and we, of course, will be, carrying all of the tribute that they will hold here in the ballpark. And I was thinking that Monday, I believe, is the date for Thurman Munson's funeral in his native town of Ohio, in Kent, Ohio. And the entire Yankee ball club will fly to the funeral service. And then we'll return to play the Orioles Monday night. That is, at the moment, the way the plans have been set up. It just remains to be seen whether or not it can be brought off. But it still is intended to be a 4-game series with 1 tonight, 1 tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon, and then Monday night. Now, tomorrow night, Steve Stone is scheduled to go for the Orioles against Catfish Hunter of the Yankees. Then Sunday afternoon, Tommy John against Mike Flanagan. And Monday night's game has scheduled Ron Guidry against Dennis Martinez. And you can see, even though the weather is very bad, we're going to have a good crowd at Yankee Stadium. And baseball is just not the overriding and overpowering reason for the people being here tonight. I think a lot of people are here tonight just to, in their own way, pay tribute to the late Yankee catcher Thurman Munson. They don't care whether it rains. They care that they're here to physically express their feeling, the great loss that all of us in baseball feel in the untimely passing of Thurman Munson. Munson was a championship ball player and a hard-nosed ball player, a man who gave everything he had to give every time he went on the field, and a fellow that had the absolute respect of everyone who ever played with him or against him.
Absolutely true, and I think that is the thing that really stands out in my mind when I talk about Thurman Munson. If there's ever a fellow who played the game the way it was supposed to be played, that was Thurman Munson. And although he was a little standoffish to a lot of people, especially the press, I think he had no peers among his players. They had the utmost respect with him. He got along with them great, and he was just a super player who knew how to play the game of baseball. And if you look at his credentials and the things he'd done in the playoffs and the World Series, it was just fantastic, Chuck.
I like to tell our viewers, the game is delayed because of rain, but we are going to play tonight. There will be a ceremony, however, prior to the playing of the ball game in memory and tribute to the late Yankee catcher Thurman Munson. Munson, the kind of a fellow, as Brooks pointed out, that I guess one of the words that they attached to Thurman Munson was grumpy. And I guess if you were a newspaper man day after day covering the Yankees, perhaps you saw that side of Thurman Munson. I saw the other side because I was an infrequent visitor. And I'd had the opportunity to, share the golf course with Thurman Munson when he played a little bit of that years ago. And the last time that I had a chance to talk to Thurman Munson was when the Yankees were in Baltimore. And after the ball game was over, we were traveling to Milwaukee, and the Yankees were flying to Chicago. And the Yankees as a team flew commercially. Thurman Munson did not. He had his own airplane in Baltimore, and it was a turboprop. And he flew to Chicago all alone. And I thought it was, strange that he didn't have at least a companion on the airplane, but he did not. And the greater part of our conversation had to do with the new airplane that he expected sometime late this summer. And it was the new airplane that arrived. And unfortunately, that new airplane that Thurman looked forward to for so long with such anticipation was a part of his untimely passing. It's just put a pall on everything in New York, and not only at the ballpark, but around the hotel. All of us who live in I guess it's kind of a small world when you think of it. It is a game, but everybody is affected. It's just one of those things. Though we didn't know J.V. Kane, the outstanding tight end of the St. Louis Cardinals, we tonight perhaps have a closer feeling for the men who made that, went through that horrible experience with the St. Louis Cardinals of the National Football League. And tonight, the Oriole party shares the grief of the New York Yankees. And the game is going to be played, and I guess what they say, Brooks, is that's the way Thurman Munson would have won it. I think Mrs. Munson requested that they play.
Yes, that's exactly what she said. She wanted them to play the ball game.
So it will be played, and Tiant has completed his warm-ups and is starting in from the center field area. Scott McGregor is still warming, and before the ball game gets underway, there will be a pregame ceremony, and we'll make an effort to carry that with our crowd microphones, and I hope, and I feel quite sure that we will be able to pick up everything that is going to be said. They are going to retire Thurman Munson's number. They also have made known the fact that no other Yankee will ever use Thurman Munson's locker. And in the Oriole dugout, I should have pointed out before, and I didn't, that the Orioles are also wearing the stripe, the black stripe in memory of the passing of Thurman Munson. And Cal Ripken comes out with a lineup card. The umpires tonight will be at the plate Don Deckinger, and at first base Rich Garcia, at second base Nick Bremigan, at third base it's going to be Steve Palermo. A very, very good crew of umpires. The Orioles, who have the very best record in baseball, have won now 13 of their last 15, and on this road trip that was interrupted very, very thankfully with a day off at home yesterday, on the road trip the Orioles have won 5 and lost 1, have a 7-game lead over the Red Sox in the American League East. In earlier stops on this road trip, the Orioles won 2 of 3 in Kansas City, swept 3 in Milwaukee before having the day off yesterday, and I think, Brooks, I'm still kind of in a state of shock over the sweep of the Milwaukee Brewers. Hopefully, if you get 2 out of 3, it would be just great.
I think that's what everybody anticipated, even our ball club. No one knew we were going to go in and sweep them like we did, but it's been a great road trip so far, Chuck. We played extremely well. We've got guys, Stone and Flanagan and Martinez and McGregor have been giving us good outings, and we've been doing the job, and it's been a different guy every day, and that's the reason we've been winning.
One of the things the Yankees did tonight as we came out into the clubhouse, from the clubhouse to the dugout, they requested all members of the media to be good enough to stay in the dugouts and not to go out on the field and not to engage any of the Yankees or Orioles in conversation prior to this ball game insofar as the passing of Thurman Munson is concerned. The Oriole clubhouse was open, of course, and it was a very, very somber, unhappy place to be, because the only thing that any of us could think of was Thurman Munson. And Oriole fans who are looking at the telecast tonight, I think everyone will remember Munson as a very respected member of the Yankees, a team that Oriole fans perhaps dislike more than any other team in baseball. More correctly, I think I should say a team that Oriole fans would like to beat more than any other team in baseball. And I think Thurman Munson ranks high on the list of their all-opponent teams. I think Munson is one of the most respected players ever to visit Baltimore. And we're all saddened and a bit distraught tonight. But the game will be played. We hope that the weather, which is getting to look very somber, the Yankees are taking the field. And we are going to have a pregame ceremony, which will be a tribute to Thurman Munson. His number will be retired. No one will ever use his locker again, and a plaque will be placed in center field. They're on their feet. We are going to join them and just hope that our microphones are able to carry everything that is said tonight here at Yankee Stadium.
And the public address announcer, Ron Jeffrey, introducing His Excellency Terrence Cardinal Cook.
At the end of the Cardinal's prayer, please remain standing as Robert Merrill will then sing America the Beautiful. Almighty Lord and Father of us all, we pause to pray for Herman Munson, our brother and your faithful son. He was a good family man, first and foremost, and you blessed this captain of the Yankees with skill and talent and a great dedication to the game of baseball and many fans whose lives he touched because of it. We offer a moment of silent prayer in his memory. Strengthen and console his loved ones and give him life, joy, and peace in heaven with you forever and ever.
For
This, ladies and gentlemen, the Yankee fans' tribute to their captain, their leader, Thurman Munson, crying through their applause, saying as in the only way they can say how heartbroken they are, how much they loved him, and how much they respected him. The message board in center field, as you see, our captain and leader has not left us today, tomorrow, this year, next. Our endeavors will reflect our love and admiration for him in memory of Thurman Munson. As you see, both teams lined up in front of the dugout. And it goes on and on. As befits a fallen hero. Not a capacity crowd. There are a few vacant seats that we can see. But a Yankee team stunned, crushed in the untimely death of Thurman Munson. As you see them, are ready to do what Thurman would want them to do, to play as well as they can play, and hope desperately that they can win. Those the Yankees who knew Thurman better than most of us, than any of us, I would suspect. And for this moment, united, a deeply emotional moment at Yankee Stadium. A heart-rending moment. This tribute, if you somehow happened on our telecast at this moment and missed what had gone before, a tribute to the fallen Yankee, Thurman Munson. It has been going on now, I would guess, 5 minutes. It's the fans' way of expressing their respect, their deep love, and I guess, and I'm sure, their gratitude for the many wonderful moments that Thurman Munson gave them. He was a champion among champions. He was a thoroughgoing professional among professionals. And it's trite, but Thurman Munson never asked any quarter, nor did he give. I can remember the night, and you do too, some of you, when Andy Etchebarren collided with Thurman Munson at home plate in a collision that rocked the stadium. And Munson was not able to hold on to the ball, and the run scored. Never a complaint from Thurman Munson. Nothing but grudging respect for Etchebarren doing his job the way Munson felt it should have been done, and Munson doing his the way Thurman felt it should have been done. Not too many weeks after that jarring collision at home plate, the same thing happened again. Only the roles were reversed. This time, Etchebarren was the catcher and Munson the base runner. As I said, he asked no quarter, and he gave none. And he barreled into Etchebarren with every bit of physical force at his command and jarred the ball loose from Andy. How he will be missed. Among the more important things that can be said about Thurman Munson was that he was a family man. And he spent every possible moment with his wife and family. And he was with his wife and family yesterday when this terrible accident occurred. The Yankees on the field will play this game because they are professionals and because their fallen teammates would want them to do it. Don Denkinger now is strolling to the mound, and that's Jerry Narron, who takes the place occupied in such a fantastic manner by Thurman Munson for so many years. Denkinger talking to Tiant, and if you had to make a guess, your guess would be that he would say, Louie, when you're ready, we're ready. The house. Brooks, we have for a long time looked at sporting events, and been my great good fortune to look at them in Baltimore, where down through the years more greater athletes have performed, I think, than any other single city. And this has to be probably one of the most emotion-packed moments I think I've ever been associated with in sport.
Well, it's certainly been the most emotional night that I've been associated with, Chuck. And I thought about it all day today, but when I hopped in the cab to come to the ballpark, something really hit me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to turn around and go back to the hotel. And that's been the atmosphere here all day in the whole city, especially here at the ballpark. And I imagine it'll be like this for a long time.
So, it's just a great tragedy, and your heart and your thoughts, of course, go to Mrs. Munson and the family. Thurman has left his mark on baseball. No one who ever knew him or ever saw him play will ever forget Thurman Munson. The services will be held in Canton, Ohio on Monday. Monday will be a day of mourning both in New York City and throughout New York State. It was announced by the mayor and by Governor Carey. And Tiant now will again warm. And it's, you know, when you think of a moment like this and a night like tonight, and you wonder which way the Yankees will go. Certainly their hearts are not up to playing baseball, but then again, sometimes in trying moments, must be for the Yankee ball club. It's to reach back and which they need most of all. Out. Time. That'll make it 2-2. Three major categories: hitting, 302, home runs, 26, runs batted in, 81. And a ball one to Singleton. That was the local. That made 3 or 4 stops on the way to the plate. 2-0 now.
I guess the most frequent question ever asked Louis is, how old are you? And he gets tired of hearing that. Said he was born November the 23rd, 1940. He said, that's what my mother told me. If you don't like it, I can't help it.
Good for Louis. 3 balls and a strike now to Singleton. He'll turn it over that way and throw a screwball to you. In the 3rd inning, the Mets are leading Montreal 5-4. In the 9th inning, it's the Pirates 6-3 over the Phillies. And the Cubs beat the Cardinals 4-2 as the count fills to Singleton.
That's what he has to do to be successful right there. He's got to establish his fastball, and that's exactly what he's done. The first 2 hitters, Bumbry and Belanger, both went out on fastballs, and that last pitch to Kenny was a fastball. But for him to be successful, he's got to have the fastball, and he's got to keep it in a pretty good spot.
On the half hop, Nettles digs it out and throws out Singleton. At the end of the first half inning, it is Baltimore nothing, and the Yankees are coming to bat.
I've been waiting all my life. I've waited for buses, waited for elevators, waited for water to boil, and I've waited for bread. But I don't wait in line at the bank. I've got this. Use the bank card at Maryland National's 24-hour banking machines and stop waiting in line. Fred!
Around the corner, all over the state. Maryland National Bank.
People do some crazy things to get better mileage. So Delp would like to recommend a few that aren't so crazy, like keeping your tires properly inflated, getting extra weight out of your trunk, or checking for a leaky fuel line connection. These simple things can get you better mileage, and that's smart. So get the most out of the gas you buy and the place you buy it. Drive smart. Does this really work? As long as we stay out of tunnels.
Well, Scotty McGregor will be taking on the Yankees. Randolph, Bob Brown, and Reggie Jackson in that order. And let's take a look at the guys who'll be backing Scott, who, as you see, digging a little clay out of the spikes right now. In other words, will tour the Orioles defensive alignment. Beginning with the first baseman, Eddie Murray. And here he is. And we'll go right around the infield for you and show you Rich Dauer, who is second baseman. Shortstop Belanger. Third baseman DeCinces. Here's the Steiner, John Lowenstein in left. And here's Bumbry, the center fielder. Singleton in right. And Scott McGregor. 6-3 on the mound.
1-4 lifetime against these Yankees.
And the catcher is Rick Dempsey. Randolph hitting .273.
He's been a hot hitter for this ball club, Chuck. Has 49 RBIs, and he's been extremely hot the last couple of weeks.
Well, against the Orioles in Baltimore, Randolph had 2 hits and 11 trips, and then up here he was a 300 hitter going 3 for 10. So he's got 5 for 21 on the year against Baltimore pitching. A fellow with pretty good speed, a fellow who came out of the Pirate organization, and a fellow who has put the glue in a somewhat porous Yankee infield. Randolph has really solidified the Yankees' defensive unit.
It's a good trade with Pittsburgh getting Randolph here. They had several fellows over there, Sinnott and Cash, and Randolph was like number 2 or 3 on their list, and it was a good deal by the Yankees to bring him here. And it's a fellow who hits a lot of balls to right center. He likes the ball way out over the plate, and the best way to pitch this guy is try to keep the ball down.
Well, he got it out over the plate, and Singleton's making a move as if to catch the ball, and he has. 1 pitch, 1 gone. Like McGregor's tempo. Batter now will be Bob Brown, a fellow that he was down in Columbus, wasn't he, Brooks?
Yes, he was, hitting .344. Good-looking prospect. He's led several leagues that he's played in the minors, and I think that he's probably going to get a full shot now because Beniquez came back to action after a long stretch, played 1 ball game, pulled a hamstring again, and now he's on the disabled list, and so they're going to give this young fellow a chance to play.
Here is Bob Brown. And that'll be ball 1. Plate umpire, Don Denkinger. And good look at the former Yankee, Scott McGregor. Bumbry, the center fielder, got it measured.
It's not a good spot to pitch, but if you can keep it in center field, you're in business because it's a long way to this center field.
2 down, and here is Reggie Jackson, and Jackson's certainly a hot hitter for the Yankees here of late. Hitting .299. He has hit in 8 straight ball games, has Sir Reggie.
He's hit some tremendous shots of late, Chuck. Home runs, doubles, and as you know, when he gets in a groove, he can be awesome. He's the type of guy who can carry you for a couple of weeks straight.
In his 8-game hitting streak, he's hit .400. He is hitting .364 over his last 14 games. And finished July with 8 home runs and 24 runs batted in. He also has 8 game-winning runs batted in.
Well, if I was the Yankees, I'd just put him in right field and forget about him, and he's going to give you his 25 or 30 home runs and drive in 80 or 90 runs for you.
And he'll also lead the league in controversy.
Little change.
I'll tell you, a lot of the controversy that I'm referring to is not really a put-on by Reggie, but he loves to get people, he loves to put you on a little bit, likes to get you going. If he can get you to nibble on some kind of a subject, then he'll really do a number on you. The 1-1, that'll be 2-1.
Left-handers can have a little success as far as throwing breaking balls to Reggie, and what they should do is try to keep it on the outside part of the plate.
Oh, my goodness.
Went right on by him with a fastball, up and in.
Take him a week and a day to get it all put together again. That's about as good a cut as I've seen Reggie have for a long time, Brooks. He just let it all go.
Well, he likes to get his arms out, and when he gets his arms extended and gets one in his zone, well, I want to tell you, it might not come down for a couple of days.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no score, bottom of the first. Ooh, boy. McGregor thought he had it. He really thought he had a strike, and Denkinger thought it was just a little bit, maybe outside or maybe a little low.
Kind of think he'll stay away from Reggie in this situation.
That's out of play. McGregor, a young man with almost pinpoint control. Matter of fact, in his last outing against Kansas City, he gave up his first walk in some 46 1/3 innings. Now, if that's not pinpoint control, I don't know what is. 3-2. The count for Jackson. Ball 4. To bring up Lou Piniella. Lou hitting .309. He's got a mini hit streak alive. He's hit in 6 straight ball games. I don't know whether you noticed that or not, but as Piniella went by Dempsey in greeting, just a little bit like in hockey, the way they go by the goalie and whack the shin guard with a stick. He just very gently touched Dempsey's shin guard. Just a gesture of consideration, I'm sure, in that he knows Piniella was a good friend of Thurman's, and he knows that Dempsey was very close to Thurman once. Oh, it's unbuttoned early, Brooks. I'd have to say, though.
He was going for the downs. Piniella is one of the Yankees that's been playing about as good as he can play, Chuck. He's hitting over 300, 10 home runs, and been driving in some big runs for him. And as you know, this guy, he's hit every place he's been. He's doing a much better job of the outfield than everybody anticipated he could do.
That's out of play. And 2 quick strikes to Piniella. I've often thought, and I've said this about you too, Brooks, if this fella could run, wonder what kind of an average, kind of a hitter he'd have been. Like Brooks Robinson if he'd had speed. My goodness.
20 more hits. I might have 5,000 hits by now. You know that?
I wouldn't doubt it, I'll tell you. But Piniella doesn't get too many leg hits, and neither did Brooks.
I know it, but the only thing, Lou, when he gets beat by a step, down goes his helmet. He gets more frustrated than anybody I've ever seen when he gets nosed down at first base.
2 strike pitch. Oh, what a change-up.
Good change is right.
Yes, sir, and the inning is over. At the end of an inning of play tonight at Yankee Stadium, the Orioles, nothing, and the Yankees, nothing.
When you say Budweiser, when you say Bud, you said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say Bud, you say you carry not to only one.
It began. George and Cassie's bedroom. The eyes at the window. The sewing room. So many flies. Get out. Get out. You will believe the Amityville Horror. Rated R.
Now playing at the Hartford Mall, Jumpers, Mayfair, Patterson, Towson, and Westview Cinema.
Well, this telecast is broadcast under rights purchased by WMAR-TV from Baltimore Baseball Incorporated and is intended solely for the private use of our viewers. Any rebroadcast or other transmission of the description of this game without the express written consent of WMAR-TV is strictly prohibited. Eddie Murray, 296, and a check swing pop-up off the first offering from Tiant. Nettles made a great play, didn't he? Well, I tell you, he has really made some Brooks Robinson-type plays at third base as Graig Nettles over the last few years.
I would say he's the #1 fielder right now in the American League.
Heck, I guess if the truth were known, Brooks, he probably was always that good a fielder, and not enough of us noticed until the Yankees started to win championships again.
I believe he started to get a little more publicity when he came over here from Cleveland. I always thought he was a good fielder, Chuck, but I really think he's a guy who probably has improved over the last 3 or 4 years, and I just think he...
Steiner's hit it pretty good. We're watching Jackson.
He's going to be up in there.
Steiner, I think, jumped on a changeup, Brooks.
It was a changeup, and I want to tell you, that guy has the quickest bat on the Orioles team. It just popped just like that, and that's what he did. Hit a changeup from Louis Tiant, and this ballpark is made for left-hand hitters. It's a great park for a left-hand hitter. The ball travels well. 353 to right center. Number 11. And our left fielders have got 28 home runs between them. Can you imagine that?
28?
17 and 11. There it is. No doubt about it.
I don't know about that. After it hit the seats, there's no doubt about it. But I watched Jackson. I thought, he's not going to catch that, is he? Here's a ball 1 to DeCinces. I just want to check something.
You're going to check and see, is that his all-time high? I bet you it is.
Well, I'm sure it is, but I thought maybe, no, in the minor leagues, he hit 18 one year in Wichita. That was in 1970. You remember 1970, Brooks?
That's right. Well, you know, we're looking at the most games he's ever played was back in 1974. He played 140 games and hit 8 home runs. But since then, he's played less than around 90 games the last 3 or 4 years, Chuck. So this is his best year production-wise, and maybe not as far as the number of games are concerned.
Tell you, we mentioned this in the telecast in Milwaukee the other night. He just is delighted to be, an Oriole. He shows it every chance he gets.
I'll tell you
what. Doug, what a rip.
I'd like to be an Oriole right now myself.
Yeah, not too bad, is it, huh?
6 games, 7 games up.
2 balls, 2 strikes to DeCinces. 1 out. Lowenstein has just homered. Baltimore 1-0. 3-2 now. Tiant will do that to you, won't he? He'll just tease you a lot. He'll take it outside, and if you swing, he'll go out a little bit more. He'll keep elevating on you.
Listen, he has been pitching for a long time, and he seizes every opportunity he can.
Got his smarts. Well, he thought that was a pretty good pitch and didn't get it. Here's a walk given up by Louis Tiant. And the batter now will be Harold Patrick Kelly.
Yeah, there's another guy right out of John Lowenstein's mold.
He sure is. 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in, a .323 average. But as a pinch hitter, he's over 500 this year, with a couple of home runs, including a grand slam.
Lee May's getting a rest tonight. I saw Lee in the clubhouse. I said, "Have a good night, Lee." He says, "I'm not in there." I said, "What happened? Did Weaver's stats get you?" He says, "I don't know. I had to hit off a Tiant in 3 years."
He got booked out again, didn't he?
Booked out again. That's right.
Out of play. You know, Tiant must be frustrating, never having had the experience, but as a fan looking at him, it looks like, son of a gun, I was going to grab a bat and get up there and take a rip or two at him, and you wanted to go back to the dugout shaking your head, wondering what happened up there.
He can make you look real funny. You can have a lot of weak swings off of this fella.
This will be a 1-strike pitch to Kelly. 1 out, and DeCinces at first. Tiant, the kind of fellow, I would guess now, Brooks, that, if you had a couple of fellows who could go, you'd steal on him.
Well, he has a very good move to first base. It's almost a balk move. In fact, you remember in the World Series a couple of years, they did call him for a balk. He's a tough guy to get a jump off, although he takes a long time in getting rid of the ball, Chuck. He holds the runners close to the bag because he's very quick in throwing the ball to first base.
He's got that hesitation move as he comes down. Got a little bit of Red Auerbach in him, too. When he wins a ball game, he lights up the biggest cigar he can find. They tell me he goes right in the shower with it. I don't think that does that cigar too much good. 2 strikes the count now to...
Well, this wouldn't be a good spot to steal a base on. 2 strikes. This is most of the time the pitcher's trying to get him with a breaking ball somewhere.
A ball and 2 strikes now to Kelly. We'll, give you as much information as they give us about Milwaukee and Boston. They're playing a 5-game series. Left center field, Piniella calling for it. Center fielder is going to give way to Piniella. And that'll be the 2nd out. Boston really jumped all over Milwaukee last night. My goodness.
Isn't that funny how things can turn around? They just wiped New York out 3 in a row, and we came in, and the big game, of course, was the first game when Stone beat them. Then the other 2 ball games, we won pretty handily, you could say. But they're hurting right now pitching-wise, and that's their problem. Depth-wise, they don't have pitching, and their bullpen is very spotty, and they're going to lose some ball games. You're talking about injuries. You would have to say this ball club has had their share of the Yankees. Of course, the most intricate part of this whole pitching staff has to be Gossage, who is really going through like spring training right now. He's trying to get his arm built up, and Guidry's been out for a while. I was looking at some...
there goes Doug. Tough pitch to throw him out on. I was about and Narron did what he had to dig it out of the dirt and then make a throw. DeCinces is in with his 4th stolen base of the year.
Doug is the type of player who can steal you some bases, but I think his back has slowed him down a little. He hasn't quite been running as much as before. But he did just right on that pitch. Stole on a big breaking ball, and Narron never had a chance. But what I was going to say about last year, Guidry, Hunter, and Figueroa last year were 58 and 17. This year, those 3 guys are 15 and 16.
Wow.
So you can see what a difference a year makes in their pitching staff.
3 balls, no strikes. The count to Rich Dauer with 2 down. We're in the top of the second. Lowenstein's home run has given the Orioles a 1-0 lead.
Rich Dauer, 7 hits in the last 2 ball games.
There's a ball 4 to Dauer. Kansas City beat Detroit 5-3 in the first of the doubleheader. Busby got the win, and he was a starter tonight, was Steve. Underwood, the loser. Splittorff starts game 2 against the Robins of the Detroit Tigers. The White Sox 4-2 over Toronto at the end of 3 innings. Texas 5-0 over Cleveland. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. Boston didn't score. Renko is pitching for the Red Sox. Jim Slayton for the Milwaukee Brewers. California, Minnesota, no score in the 1st inning. Barr against Kuzman, and Oakland will be in Seattle. And here now is Rick Dempsey. And we'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the Orioles 79 Baseball Network.
You're watching the flagship station of the Orioles Baseball Network, WMAR-TV 2, Baltimore.
1 ball, no strikes to Rick, hitting .255. Runners 1st and 2nd, 2 down. In the National League this afternoon, the Cubs were 4-2 winners over the Cardinals. Rick Russell beats Pete Vukovich, and Pittsburgh 6-3 over the Phillies in the first of 2 in Pittsburgh tonight. Romo the winner, McGraw the loser. The Phillies scored 4. I think that's 4. We better double check that. I'm not sure. It scored 1 run, let's say, on the top of the 1st inning of the 2nd game. Christensen against Bibby in that 2nd game. San Diego, Cincinnati, no score at the end of 2. Atlanta and Houston, no score in the 1st inning. And it's the Mets 5, Montreal 4. Watch right fielder Reggie Jackson seems to have it without too much difficulty, and that's the final out of the inning. The Orioles get a run at the end of an inning and a half in New York tonight. Baltimore 1 and New York 0.
Look at all the ways heads are turning to Vitalis.
Now that I shampoo more, I use Vitalis to keep my hair in condition.
Heads are turning to Vitalis.
Vitalis before I blow dry helps keep my hair under control.
Heads are turning, heads are turning.
My aerosol felt stiff. With Vitalis, I'm a softer touch.
These days, heads are turning to Vitalis in more ways than one.
Heads are turning.
The next McDonald's night at the stadium, Wednesday, August 8th, is Stuffle Bag Night. Fans under 18 redeeming McDonald's night coupons at McDonald's Stadium booth will receive a free Stuffle Bag. Coupons available with the purchase of a big meal or a small meal at all participating McDonald's. McDonald's Stuffle Bag Night at the stadium. So come to Memorial Stadium August 8th and get your free Stuffle Bag from McDonald's. It's gonna be a hit.
Smith Motor Company, Baltimore's largest Dodge car and truck dealership, says let's make a deal. Choose from over 500 new and used cars and trucks with factory-authorized money-saving discounts.
Play-by-play announcer for the program, selected by the Baltimore Orioles, subject to the approval of WMAR-TV, and is paid by the Baltimore Orioles. Brooks Robinson was selected by WMAR-TV, subject to the approval of the Orioles, and is paid by WMAR-TV. We'll go now to the Yankee half of the 2nd inning. Here's Graig Nettles. I'll tell you what, if ever a fellow had a pure power stroke, it's Mr. Graig Nettles.
I think he's the most legitimate home run hitter on this ball club, the New York Yankee ball club. Pull hitter. He's had a terrible time here the last couple of months, though, Chuck. He's 13 home runs, which is 53 RBIs. But he has really been struggling, and defensively, although he made a nice play last time, he hasn't played the last month as well as Graig Nettles can play in the field. But he's a guy you do not like to get behind. I would say
2-0 pitch coming. Hang on. Well, he didn't get it. I don't know whether Doug can catch up to it or Belanger. DeCinces has a very tough chance, and he touched it. And Doug is, well, kind of a fellow that figures if I touch it, I ought to catch it. But I'm sure there'll be no error charged there. If they charge an error on that play, I'm going to, well, I got a friend would say, I'll make you watch with a toothpick.
And I think Doug probably felt the same way. If I touched it, I should have had it. That's exactly right.
2 balls and a strike now to Nettles.
The best way to get this guy out is stay ahead of him as much as you can, because when you get 2 or 3 balls on him and have to come to him, that's when he's at his best.
Let's look at Frank in the Oriole dugout. Oh, got a piece of it, didn't he? Hey, we're happy to have Mr. and Mrs. Richard Patry and their son Scott at the ball game tonight. Mr. Patry teaches and coaches football at Archbishop Curley High School, and one of the base bells is here with her father tonight, Brooks, Rita McCardle. And they want to say hello to Mrs. McCardle, who's back home tending to the business of the ranch. Huh? Whoops.
We're seeing a little different Scott McGregor right now, Chuck. He really, his bread and butter is keeping the ball down as much as he can, but if you look, the hitters that he's faced so far, his fastball has really been upstairs, running upstairs, and he's kept the ball in center field, which has been a big help. A long fly to center and a long fly to right.
Nettles, Roy White, Jim Spencer. I know the Spencer family are looking at the telecast tonight in Baltimore. 3-2 pitch now to Nettles. Dauer, Scotty, and they got it. We'll look at that again, and all of a sudden Scotty realized, I better get over there. That ball took a hop. Brooks, that demonstrates the importance. Did he touch that bag?
Yes, he touched it. He hit right on the side, but his foot did run over it. But Eddie Murray broke for the ball, and then Scotty realized, well, I have to get there, and he was a little late, but Rich Dauer got in front of the ball, knocked it down, and that's what counts.
Here's White, a switch hitter, and that's a bunt effort for strike one. Roy is hitting 181, and that's
181, and I just bet you he hasn't been to bat too many times, Chuck. I don't know where he's been. I think he's been so far down in his doghouse, I don't think he was ever going to get out, to tell you the truth. But this is a guy I really like. Switch hitter.
Well, here's Belanger. Tough play on that slow roller. Sometimes, I said tough play because sometimes that little bit of a roller, the fielder has a tendency to rush a little bit, and he hurries so much to make sure he makes the play that he sometimes boots it. Belanger, with all of his years of experience and savvy, has almost got a computer in that head. He knows just exactly about how quickly White can get to first base.
That's very true, and he saw that Roy didn't get out of the box that good either, and so he knew he had plenty of time. Here's the fellow who's been the hottest hitter for the Yankees, Jim Spencer.
9 of his last 11 ball games, he's hitting 278. He's hit 13 home runs, knocked in 33. Always been a good hitter. Let me tell you something. He's pretty good with that glove, too.
He's excellent, and he just wants a chance to play. And whether he gets it here, I don't know, but he has a chance to play out his option this year, become a free agent, and I think he has in mind if he doesn't get like 400 times at bat, well, he wants to go somewhere where he can play, because he's at a critical stage in his career, and if he doesn't start making hay or not hay, but if he doesn't start playing here very soon, it's going to pass him by, and that's what he wants to do.
I don't know whether that's playable or not. We're watching Dempsey. No. Jim Spencer's the kind of a fellow, you know, I've known for quite a few years. And I always thought, boy, he'd look pretty good in an Oriole uniform. But then again, you look over the Oriole first basemen that have been around since Spencer's been here, and Boog Powell, that's not very much room for Spencer there. And then here comes Lee May. And then Lee May moves over to a designated hitter, and a fellow named Eddie Murray moves in. So, you know, there have been, it'd be very difficult for Spencer to find any kind of a spot in Baltimore. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jim.
He pulls the ball almost all the time, and we try to keep the ball away from him on the outer half.
He did pull it into the corner. Might get 2. He's going to try. And Singleton's throw is not in time. I'd have to say he pulled that ball.
Yes, he did pull it. It was a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate, and he looked like he was right there waiting on it. He ripped it down in the right field corner, and Singleton had a pretty good shot at him, but the field's so wet out there, when Singleton's throw hit the grass, it just stopped. Here it goes. Singy makes a good play in cutting the ball off. Spencer doesn't stop. He's going for 2 all the way, and there's Singleton's throw, and it just put the whoa on it when he hit that grass.
Batter now is going to be Jerry Narron, the catcher for the Yankees. And that's the story at 188.
Well, Narron's a young player that the Yankees have a lot of hope for. And I think our first look at him this year, Chuck, was in spring training, and he hit a home run to win the ball game right over the center field wall off of Don Stanhouse. I just got through telling everybody Stanhouse hadn't thrown up a home run in 75 innings.
You know, I'd forgotten that, but I now remember.
Well, I don't forget anybody makes me look bad.
McGregor apparently has balked. Belanger broke to the bag at second, and McGregor made a move that constitutes the balk. No argument at all. And you can tell by the posture of McGregor, he realized that was a no-no, and they caught me. I was looking at Jerry Austin Narron in the book from Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Well, all he has to do right now is hit it somewhere on the ground, and he's going to score a run because our infield is back. They're willing to give up a run. Oh, yes, 2 away. I'm sorry, Charlie.
They score a run on an infield ground out, Brooks. We're going to have to talk to Abner.
Yeah, I keep trying to give him a run. You know that?
Yeah, don't do that, Brooks. Well, took us right off the hook, didn't he? Okay, at the end of 2 innings of play, the score is Baltimore 1 and New York 0.
Take a check. Any ID? Identification? Here's my driver's license. Don't you have a welcome check, sir? Credit card? Sir, if you had welcome check, you wouldn't need any of these. None of them? Welcome check tells me your check is okay, and it's good at thousands of stores. Thousands? Got a birth certificate? Yeah.
Get welcome check free at Equitable Trust Bank.
Get the Atlantic Ocean, you sail the saving seas. Save at Atlantic with safety and ease. Get the Atlantic Ocean, our crew will help you too. Plan for the future on the course that's straight and true.
There's still time to open or add to your individual retirement.
Now, Atlantic Federal's new higher passbook interest rate means your savings earn more. Atlantic Federal's passbook interest rate has been increased a full 0.25% to 5.5% per annum. New effective yield, 5.66%.
And Baltimore will love ABC best as ABC closes out every Chevy in stock. New Citations will be sold for $39.95. New Chevettes will be sold for $35.99. ABC is tearing up price tags on every Caprice, every Monte Carlo, every Malibu, all Impalas, all pickups. That's ABC Chevrolet on Reisterstown Road, 5 miles north of Beltway Exit 20.
Here at the top of the batting order for the Orioles, Al Bumbry. His first plate appearance saw him fly to the center fielder Bobby Brown in the opening inning. Well, in the third inning, the Red Sox of Milwaukee are scoreless. Minnesota 2-0 over California there in the second inning. Texas 6-0 over Cleveland there in the fifth. And that's the ball 1. including tonight's ball game, the Orioles still have 56 games left. A lot of things can happen.
A lot of things can happen. You're exactly right.
The worst thing I can remember in recent years, well, it's been a little bit more than recent, too. The Philadelphia Phillies of 1964 were 6.5 games in front with 12 left to play. And they never got there.
Well, that
Can
was
you
the
imagine that, Brooks?
Yeah, I can imagine it. I remember that because
lost
it was
10 in a row.
supposed to be a Subway Series that year. The Orioles and the Phillies, we had a good shot to win it.
Yeah.
And,
We didn't get there either.
No, we sure did. St. Louis won that year and then beat the Yankees in the World Series.
A ball and 2 strikes to Bumbry. But I'll tell you, that must have been one of the most nerve-wracking, utterly frustrating things that could have ever happened. Imagine be 6.5 games in front with only 12 games left and lose.
Well, when you get out of these last month and a half, strange things do happen, believe me. And we're talking...
How to play again.
You know, you sit up here and you look at the Yankees 14 games back, and you can say, well, they're dead or they're out of it, and I truly believe they are. And Milwaukee 10 back in the loss column. I just don't see those ball clubs being strong enough to really do the things they have to do to make a run at it. I think it's a 2-team race now, and
Spencer.
And there's a long way to go, and Boston's going to make a race out of it.
Now we get Mark Belanger, who pops to the second baseman, Willie Randolph, in the opening inning. Milwaukee, started by the Orioles and now lost 4 in a row. I'll tell you, Texas hasn't been playing that well here late, but they're now leading Cleveland. Oh, that's hit pretty good. Let's watch Piniella in left field.
Might have enough room.
He did. Mark's not supposed to do that. That's about as far as Piniella can run. A couple of years ago, I remember Belanger had a home run in this ballpark, hit it right off the foul pole in the left field corner. Take a look at this one.
Hits this ball good. Really gets the bad head out. And Piniella's playing him kind of short. That's why he's got the long run. But he's got room. Makes the play. And talking about that other division, you know who's starting to... When we left Kansas City, I thought, well, I said to myself, they're dead. But they've won 4 in a row now.
Yep.
4 in a row. And they're only about 5 back in the loss column. So they're starting to come on again, too.
Woo-hoo! Tiant said, hello, Ken. I still got the ball. Ball 1. Singy was out on a ground ball to third baseman Nettles in the first inning.
When he throws that real changeup, Chuck, the best thing you can do is just take it. Unless you got 2 strikes, then you have to battle it off.
Unless you have a squash racket or something.
You better believe it. Because you're going to have to furnish your own power if you do hit that.
2 balls and a strike now to Singleton with 2 out, and nobody on. Top of the third inning, Baltimore 1, the Yankees nothing.
Louis signed a 10-year contract with this New York Yankee ball club, and his title is going to be Director of Latin American Affairs.
Okay.
I'll tell
you, there have been many fine ball players coming out of Latin America. Well, here comes Piniella. He indicates he's got everything under control. And they're saying Lou, and Lou's got it for the final out. At the end of 2 1/2, Baltimore 1, New York nothing.
The numbers game. Now play your numbers straight and boxed on the same dollar ticket. Play today and cash tonight, even on multiple day tickets. But you got to play to win.
Hey, when I work, I'm like a lot of people. I can't think about anything else. That's why I got a Banktron account at Maryland National with some real time savers, telephone transfer, bounce-proof checking, and 24-hour banking machine. The less time I have to spend on banking, the more time I can spend on business.
Around the corner, all over the state. Maryland National Bank.
Hi, this is Ed Allen. Got a figure problem? Relax. Join me for fun and exercise on the new Ed Allen Show every weekday direct from the sunny Caribbean. The music's lively, the scenery's super. Trim down and shape up on the new Ed Allen Show. I'll be looking for you.
Watch the new Ed Allen Show weekday mornings at 6:30 right here on Channel 2.
On June 25th, some unknown fan became the 25 millionth person to attend an Orioles game since the Birds arrived in Baltimore in 1954. Now the Orioles want to say thanks to all of their fans who have made 25 million in 25 years possible on what we call 25 million Fan Night. The date, Tuesday, August 7th, when the Orioles play the Brewers, all fans 15 years of age and older who will receive a commemorative Orioles antique silver keychain absolutely free. The date again, Tuesday night, August the 7th. We have a lot of other things going on prior to the ball game. As Bucky Dent leads off against Scott McGregor, Dent is hitting .238. Ball one. There's going to be a home run hitting contest beginning at 7 o'clock between Ken Singleton and Frank Robinson of the Orioles, Gorman Thomas and Frank Howard of the Brewers. That's out of play. Ball and a strike. And Dinky, the world champion Frisbee catching dog, is also going to perform. So be there early. All of this stuff will start at about 7 o'clock, and then the Orioles and the Brewers at 7:30.
You can see Bucky Dent has changed his style of hitting just a little.
As you said, Brooks, keeping the hitting at the center. A lot of room out there.
Bucky used to be up on the plate, crowded a little, and his style of hitting now is very familiar because it seems to, everywhere Charlie Lau goes, you see this style of hitting to a certain degree from many of the players. And Charlie Lau is over here now as the hitting instructor, and Bucky hasn't had a good year. He's been struggling.
Hey, he's got to hit a lot to play, I think.
I think so, too.
Really?
I think he's,
he's an average shortstop.
That's right. He makes the plays. And the shortstop doesn't have to be anything spectacular. They want guys out there that can make the double play and make the routine play because most of the balls are routine. And that's what Bucky can do for you.
Well, Eddie Murray and Rich Dauer backpedaling into shallow right. It's going to be Dauer. Murray looking for help, and Dauer gave it to him. 2 down here in the third inning, and that again looked like that fastball, and again it looked like it was up.
It was. He's been pitching up tonight, and I know that's not his style, but because he just has to keep the ball down to be effective. He gets a lot of ground balls, but if you can keep the ball, if you're going to pitch it up and keep it in center field, okay, but if you start letting him hit it down the lines, you might be in a little trouble.
Bob Brown, center fielder, just recently recalled from Columbus. Ball one. I'll tell you, there are no secrets in baseball. I don't care. This fellow may come up his first big league game, and you can go in that Oriole dugout, and there'll be 6 guys tell you exactly what he hits, where he likes the ball, how to pitch him.
Somebody will have a report on him.
They've got the greatest espionage system in the world.
They told me tonight he was a low ball hitter, inside half, trying to keep it away from him. Throw a lot of breaking balls, so they got the book on him.
That's a broken bat. Belanger's got to really hurry. I don't know if he can get him. No, he couldn't get him.
So here it is. He gets inside on him, and you can see busts his bat. The slow infield. Mark gets over, doesn't quite get his feet under him, and he beats it out. He's got good speed.
That'll bring up Reggie. Reggie drew a walk in the first inning, and McGregor would much rather see Jackson with nobody on. If he has to pitch to him, that's the way he'd like to pitch to him. With the bases empty. Are you trying to make me believe, Brooks, that this fellow in Caldwell were talking underneath that pile out in Milwaukee?
That's exactly what Caldwell said. That's what the paper said. And when I read that, I cracked up.
Mm-hmm. One ball.
Reggie, can't you see?
One strike.
Reggie had him by the throat, and he's saying, "Did you mean to hit me?" And he said, "No." He said, "Do you swear you didn't mean to hit me?" And he's struggling for his life. He said, "No." Then let him go.
Well, Caldwell missed the turn because of that altercation.
He's going to miss a couple turns. I think he's hurting a little more than everybody suspects. Jackson, 19 home runs, 57 RBIs.
Oh, he is something with that bat in his hand, isn't he, though? 0-2.
This is the time when you get ahead of him like this, he'll chase a bad ball. See what Rick does. Maybe he'll go away from him. See if he'll chase a bad slider outside. Well, I want to tell you something. That was too good a pitch for 2 strikes and no balls. You can't make it that good because he just missed hitting that ball a long way. He tried to go inside with a fastball, but he got it right out over the plate.
That's Brown. Pretty good runners, Bobby.
I think he'll take a bad ball away this time if it's not.
Dempsey is setting up out there. There goes Brown. Had much of a chance to throw him out. Didn't even have to slide.
Well, that's exactly why Brown run on that pitch. 2 strikes and no balls. Here it is. He throws a changeup, and it's up high, and Dempsey has no chance. But 2 strikes and no balls usually is a good pitch to steal on, simply because the pitcher is either trying to waste the pitch somewhere, and it would not give the catcher time to throw to second base, or he's throwing a breaking ball or a changeup. And Mr. Brown guessed right on that one.
I'll tell you another thing he did. He got a tremendous jump on Scott McGregor, scored his lead behind second base.
A little unusual stance by Brown on second base. Almost like he wants to get a running lead.
See if he does it again. He went back. See him? He backs off towards center field, behind the bag at second. Boy, he must have speed to burn. He's going to give us 6 or 8 steps. Now, the Mets and Montreal are in a 5-5 tie in the 5th inning. Pirates and Phillies no score, 2 innings of their second game. Pittsburgh won the first 6-3. Now the 1-2 to Reggie Jackson. And he got Jackson for the third out of the inning. That's it. The inning is over. Jackson is called out on strikes, and at the end of 3, Baltimore 1 and New York nothing.
To every man who works with fire and steel, this bud's for you.
This bud's for you. For being on the job and working hard all day. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This bud's for you. This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
Being voted Car of the Year demands more than a sleek body and high performance. ZX has more. 5-speed transmission, power disc brakes, fuel injection, AM/FM stereo, rack and pinion steering, steel-belted raised letter radials that'll roll nearly 400 miles on a tank of gas, side and rear window defoggers, and more. These standard features make the Car of the Year the buy of the year. Your ZX is waiting at your Baltimore area Datsun dealers.
We're ready to go now to the Orioles half of the fourth inning, it'll be Eddie Murray, John Lowenstein, and Doug DeCinces in that order.
And that's what he likes to do to Eddie Murray, especially Lou Tiant. A lot of slow breaking balls. That's what he got him out on the first time. And Eddie knows that he's going to get a lot of breaking balls, so it doesn't come as a big surprise.
2 balls, no strikes now to Ed. We'd like to wish a very happy birthday to a special guy who's watching the telecast tonight. Elrod Hendrick's young son, Ryan, is 7 years young today.
7 years old.
That's it. Happy to know that Merle's feeling a lot better, too.
Watch this swing. I want to tell you, that was a little fastball, threw it right by him. Got him 2 balls and a strike.
I wonder how a pitcher feels when he sees a fellow, lose his helmet, stagger around from the velocity of the swing. Here's Piniella, and Moore, and Pinella's there.
Well, I imagine if he has that good a swing every time, he's thinking, maybe I better throw him something else.
I'll tell you, I have known some pitchers. See a fellow swing like that would come right back and say, let's see how you swing sitting on the seat of your trousers, and down you go. Zap. Here now is John Lowenstein, homered in the second inning. Out of play. For John Lowenstein, that was his 11th home run of the year. Run batted in number 32, and that check swing must have stung. Look at that, Brooksy.
Seen guys spring their wrists like that, Chuck. You try to hold up. I guess when guys, we're talking about guys holding up and not swinging, the best of all has to be Frank Robinson. I've seen times where he had started swing, and I don't know how in the heck did he ever stopped it. But he was the best as far as stopping the swing and not going on through.
Another thing that Frank Robinson excels in, it's some people think a lost art in baseball, but hardly. He can pick up the other guy's pitches as well as anybody in the game. This is Spencer, the Tiant, just like they do it in spring training. 2 down in the top of the fourth inning. And the batter now, Doug DeCinces, following the Lowenstein home run in the second. DeCinces drew a walk.
Doug's been swinging the bat extremely well. He hasn't got a lot of base hits to show for it, but he's hit the ball well, and he's got a lot of walks here in the last 3 or 4 games. And that's what they want to do to him. They want to try to keep the ball up. A little out of the strike zone. Doug has had a tendency to swing at that ball instead of bringing it down in the strike zone. But he has wore this New York pitching out the last couple of years. He had the only 2 home runs against him this year until Lowenstein hit one.
This is Randolph, the right fielder, indicating that he'll make the catch, and he does. 3 up, 3 down, go the Orioles. At the end of 3 1/2, it's Baltimore 1 and New York nothing.
Have a Coke and a smile.
North Dallas 40, the most athletic movie you'll ever see. It has action, romance.
Oh, they got the blood up now.
Oh, yeah. It's an old story, boy meets boy.
Oh, I love happy endings.
Excitement. Pursuit of cows. And wait till you see the weird part. North Dallas 40, rated R.
Now playing at the Cinema Security Square, the movies Timonium Cinema and Town Theaters. Ben, Hoss, Adam, and Little Joe, the Cartwrights, father and sons dedicated to defending their vast ranch holdings and protecting their neighbors from the lawless. A family of mighty men who saddle up and ride into danger each weekday afternoon at 4:30 here on Channel 2.
Well, the Orioles and the Wives have their annual softball game rescheduled this year. It's going to be back, and I want to give you the date. It'll be Wednesday, August the 8th. We got a date that night? I hope so. The Orioles' wives will play their husbands in softball. It'll be a 3-inning contest. Starts at 6:30 p.m. as always. It's a whale of a lot of fun to watch. And we hope that you'll come out a little early that night and watch the Orioles' husbands face their wives in the softball game. And then the regular game will be the Orioles and the Brewers. Wednesday night, August the 8th. Here's Lou Piniella. Sweet Lou. Seems to me like almost every Major League ball player I've known that answered the name of Lou, they all called him Sweet Lou. And everyone, every guy by the name of Rhodes was called Dusty.
That was Lou
Whitaker.
Yeah, Lou Whitaker and Lou Johnson. Lou Jackson, I guess it was. Played left-hand hitter.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's Piniella, and he struck out. McGregor has 3 strikeouts to his credit. And there have been 2 Yankee hits. Infield hit by Brown and a double by Spencer. Strike 1.
Well, he's just thrown the ball right by Piniella for the second time. First time up, struck him out. And Pinella's the type of guy, Chuck, that'll guess with you almost every pitch. I mean, just outright guess. Fastball, curve, change, whatever. And not too many of the guys do that. I mean, they might anticipate a lot of pitches, but you don't see them just outright guess one or the other every pitch. And I think that's really what, that's how we know Lou Piniella. And he guesses right a lot.
Oh, I'll say he does. That will be out of play. Piniella, in his career, is a .290 lifetime hitter. In the playoffs of the American League Championship Series, his batting mark is .286. World Series, he's a .286 hitter. Better believe he hits. A ball and 2 strikes now. Look out, Mac. That's a foul ball, says Denkinger.
Well, he did a great job.
I thought McGregor would go get the bat and break it.
I don't know.
He did it.
Take a look at this. I don't know how the heck he hit that ball. He just threw his bat at it.
I remember he threw a bat at Earl Weaver the other year, right over to the edge of the dugout.
Well, Earl and him, Earl managed him many years, and Earl was just hollering at him right there because he turned around and looked. But Earl gives him a hard time, and he was hollering at him several years ago. I guess it was 1977 because I was still in uniform, and Piniella came over the dugout, and that's when Billy Martin got in it.
No foul tip here,
No,
and that'd be a strikeout.
And that was Scotty's change. It went away like a screwball, and just an excellent pitch.
Funniest thing I've ever seen Lou Piniella do was in Shea Stadium when the Yankees played over there a couple of years. One of the Orioles, hit a drive down the third base side that rolled into foul territory and went under the grandstand. And so Piniella stood out there in foul territory with his hands up, making the timeout sign.
Oh.
He was really frustrated. This is Nettles. Foul ball. And umpire at first base, Rich Garcia. And a very good umpire. It's a very good crew. Brannigan, the guy at second base, and the third base umpire, Steve Palermo. I think Brooks Robinson was absolutely right. The umpiring in the Milwaukee series was outstanding. Well, here's the sensei with another chance. Looks like he's got this one without too much difficulty, and that will be the second out of the inning. I've heard it said, and I hope this is a valid statement, but I've heard it said, Brooks, that good umpires are the fellows that you
Should be. I mean, they've got the power to do anything they want to. At least that's the way they run these ball games. Everything is umpire's judgment. I don't care what rules you're looking at in the book. It always comes down to umpire's judgment. But I think the thing they're doing now, they're getting a good guy like Haller, say.
Yeah.
And Haller takes 3 young guys under his wing, and he's able to instill in these guys the way you're supposed to handle a game. I think, the other day, Lee McPhail, you remember the episode we had in, Oakland, where the umpires clapped for Weaver?
Yes, Jim Evans.
Well, they got fined. They got fined, and I think rightly so. I mean, an umpire, that's just not the way things should be handled. And Lee McPhail slapped a fine on him for applauding Weaver. Roy White grounded out to shortstop on a check swing last time. And I mentioned about Roy being in the doghouse. He's very unhappy here. He's at a stage in his career where he has to play. He cannot play the way he's been playing once every month or so. And he's a good little player, switch hitter, can do a lot of things for you. And he has to play to be successful.
So he's a class guy, too. He really is. And that's the final out of the inning at the end of 4 completed. Yankee Stadium. Baltimore 1, New York 0.
This bud's for everybody who helps keep our country on the move. This bud's for you. You're working hard all day just like you always do. This bud's for you. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do. This Bud's for you.
There's only one Z-Bark, and no one else, including your new car dealer, can match the exclusive Z-Bark rust-proofing system. And now the United States Auto Club has granted the Z-Bark system its seal of approval, indicating proven excellence in the rust-proofing field. Ask your Z-Bark dealer about the 10 reasons that make Z-Bark #1 with USAC. Z-Bark.
In Frederick, see Dick Edwards. In Hagerstown, see Elgin Bennett. And in Westminster, see Charlie Singer.
Ford pickups just around the corner. Toughest 4-wheelers you can buy. Just around the corner. Great gas mileage in 4, 6, and 8 cylinders. Just around the corner. Clearance price on Move Out Now. Just around the corner. Ford pickups. Just around the corner. They're of steel. Just around the corner. At your Ford dealer.
We go to the top of the 5th inning at the Yankee Stadium. Baltimore 1-0 over New York. This is the first of a 4-game series. We do it again tomorrow night at 8 o'clock over most of these stations. Sunday afternoon, again over most of these stations. And there's a Yankee fan. And they're watching the Yankee game on television.
The Yankees purchased the contract of Lenny Randall today from the Pacific Coast League. Familiar name?
Yes. Now, center fielder Bob Brown should handle it without too much difficulty. Batter now going to be Rich Dauer. He has been to the plate one time tonight, drawn a walk. Pops him up. Narron. Look out. I knew he was going to hit that bat. Almost got it twice. That's the toughest pop-up for the catcher to handle. That one that stays right up over the plate, right up over your head.
Well, when you're a catcher, you try to get all your equipment out of the way. Throw your mask away, get the bat out of the way, and then turn around like that, because the spin of the ball dictates it's going to come back towards the infield, and that's why the catchers turn around to catch it.
Narron was talking a little bit with Deckinger about the bat. Don had to be very sure, first of all, that he stayed out of Narron's way. And in doing so, he just didn't see the bat quickly enough, or he might have picked it up and yanked it out of the way. Dempsey. Oh, hello, the illegal right-handed hitter. Say the right-handed hitters. Strike one. You know, good-looking pitch from Louis Tiant. No, sir. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a little interesting information on Rick Dempsey. 141 games for the Yankees, 73 through 76. Look out. Boy, that is a mean foul ball. I hope everybody's all right down there. I see a lot of movement, which indicates that they're looking for the ball, so we hope. Pops him up. Left fielder Piniella coming on. And the Orioles are 3 up and 3 down. That's 10 in a row retired by Tiant. At the end of 4 1/2. Orioles 1, Yankees nothing. America, what do you love best?
Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
And Baltimore will love ABC best, as ABC closes out every Chevy in stock. New Citations will be sold for $39.95. New Chevettes will be sold for $35.99. ABC is tearing up price tags on every Caprice, every Monte Carlo, every Malibu, all Impalas, all pickups. That's ABC Chevrolet on Reisterstown Road, 5 miles north of Beltway Exit 20.
How'd you like to get this great-looking Amelia Earhart luggage for about half the manufacturer's suggested retail price? Now you can at Providence by depositing $100 or more in a new Providence checking account or a new or existing Providence savings or payphone account. Make a bigger deposit and get an even better price. See how you can get this terrific luggage for about half price at Providence Savings Bank. It's one more reason banking at Providence is worth the trip.
Well, I have a date that I hope each one of you will put on your calendars. The date is August 15th. Going to be Orioles Appreciation Day in Hopkins Plaza. The mayor is going to be making a presentation to the team. There'll be food and Super Carnival games and a chance to meet the fabulous players of the 1979 Orioles. All the fun begins at 11 o'clock. And the best presentation we think that you can make for the Orioles is to have as many people there as possible. So it'll be at 11 o'clock at Hopkins Plaza, August the 15th. And incidentally, the proceeds from this event will go again to the Johns Hopkins Children's Center. The date again is August the 15th, 11 o'clock in the morning. The whole ball club will be there. The mayor will be there. And we certainly do hope that you will be there. Here is Jim Spencer. Doubled down the right field line in the second inning. Now looks at McGregor for the second go-around. Orioles 1 run on 1 hit. Lowenstein's home run. The Yankees no runs on 2, so the game has belonged to Tiant and McGregor through the early going. Center fielder Bumbry coming. Right fielder Singleton will let him have it in the alley. One up, one down, Jerry Narron. Narron has kind of a unique posture at the plate. Take a look as we look in from center field. He kind of cocks his head, kind of peeks out over that shoulder. Oh, right down Broadway, huh?
That's the Scott McGregor we know right there. Keeps the ball right on her knees.
Two strikes now. Houston 2-1 over Atlanta in the 4th inning. San Diego, Cincinnati, no score there in the 6th inning. Kansas City 2-0 over Detroit in the 3rd. White Sox 8-5 over Toronto in the 8th. No score, Boston, Milwaukee, 4 innings. Kansas City won the first game over Detroit, 5-3. Here is McGregor's 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Yep. McGregor now with 5 strikeouts.
Well, Slayton is pitching for Milwaukee, and he is their best pitcher. As you know, Steve Stone beat him last week in that great ball game, but he pitched 2 for 2.
Yes, he did. Boy, what a ball game that was, that Monday night game in Milwaukee, one of the great games of the year. Minnesota leading California 3-0. They have gone 4 innings, 6-1. Texas over Cleveland there in the 7th inning. And a strike goes up on the board to Bucky Dent. As you mentioned, Brooks, he'll make the plays at shortstop, which is what the baseball people look for. If any weakness appears at shortstop, it's in his arm. He seems to me to have kind of a scatter arm every now and then.
Well, he has a very average arm, and we saw him last year when he had some arm problems. But Chuck, he's an average shortstop. You want a guy at shortstop who doesn't necessarily make the fantastic plays for you, but you want a guy that'll never miss the routine play.
There you go.
Will make a double play for you, and that's the kind of guy you want at shortstop because most of the balls that hit there are going to be routine anyway. So shortstop gets a lot of work out, more ground balls than any other guy on the infield, and you want a guy that can handle it, and that's the reason that Bucky's here.
Jammed him a little bit, and the count holds at 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'd say he has very average range for a shortstop. He doesn't have great range, but I think what we can say, he makes the plays.
Hit pretty good, but left fielder Lowenstein is right where he needs to be to wrap it up for the final out. 3 up, 3 down, and that's 7 in a row now for Scott McGregor. At the end of 5, Orioles 1, the Yankees 0.
How good is Datsun's new Z car? Motor Trend magazine saw its plush velour cockpit, computerized safety check, power steering, 5-speed with cruise control, 4-speaker stereo, and crowned it Import Car of the Year. The new Datsun 280ZX. It is awesome. This bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
A few years ago, this town didn't have a Leone car wash. And Mr. Jensen, he had a camper so old it wasn't worth washing. Of course, there was no Finance America here then. When we came to town, folks came to us. They heard Finance America invest in people. Looks like our investments paid off. For the Leones, for the Jensens, and for us. Because we do well with our money when you do well with our money. Finance America. We invest in you.
Louis Tiant has retired 10 in a row, as you see Denkinger talking to Yankee catcher Jerry Narron. And here we'll have another check on the scoreboard afternoon. The Cubs were 4-2 winners over the Cardinals this afternoon. Pirates beat the Phillies 6-3 in the first game. And the Pirates lead the Phillies 1-0 in the bottom of the third in the second game. San Diego 2-0 over the Reds. They're in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is Houston 2, Atlanta 1 at the end of 3 innings. And the Mets 6, Montreal 5. They're on the bottom of the 5th inning, and that'll be a ball 1 to Bumbry, who gave a lot of indication of the bunt and didn't do it. American League scoreboard. Kansas City 5-3 winners over Detroit in the first game. In the second game, it's now Kansas City 2, Detroit 0 in the last half of the third inning. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bumbry. The White Sox 8, Toronto Blue Jays 5. They have completed 7 innings of play. And the Texas Rangers are leading Cleveland 7-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Milwaukee scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning, lead the Red Sox 3-0. And that is going to be out of play. Repeating, it is Milwaukee 3, Boston 0. Gorman Thomas hit number 26 in the 4th with a man on to help a little bit.
If he gets hot, he might have 30 before that series is over. He's that type of hitter.
Minnesota 3-0 over California at the end of 3 innings of play. Jim Barr against Kuzman in that one. Thank you, Brooks. And Bumbry now waits the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. I love to watch Tiant. He just does so many things out there that...
And you wouldn't meet a nicer guy, Chuck.
Yeah. Everybody says. 2-2 to Bumbry. Well, Narron, or it'll be Narron. No. His chances were slim and none, and I think Slim was out of town. I'm not sure. But
no play. Yes, sir. Base hit.
Swinging bunt single for Bumbry.
Big curveball, and watch out. He like triple clutch before he went ahead with his swing. And Narron just gets there and makes a good play, but it's off the mark. No chance to get Bumbry.
Good heady play on the part of Spencer. Get the ball. Or Bumbry might be all the way to third by the time we retrieve it. Here's Mark Belanger. Are they going to bunt him along, Brooks?
Well, I'd either bunt him or have him hit and running, something like that. Run and hit and run.
Nettles is crowding in from third. They figure he might be
I think he's bunting up.
Ball one. Can you really disguise that bunt, Brooks? Or have you ever had a guy bunt when you're really, in a bunting situation now? You just...
Almost every time, Chuck, if you're a third baseman and you play against a guy enough, he always does something different. He holds his bat a little different, or he just doesn't look like he's hitting.
Yeah.
And almost 99 times out of 100, you can tell the guy is not going to be swinging.
Right.
He's going to be bunting.
You ever get crossed up, come charging down there and have somebody...
Yeah, once or
undress
twice, but it doesn't happen that much because...
guys like Frank Howard don't bunt, right?
You got that right. Well, I would never go charging on him.
2 balls, no strikes to Belanger.
But, you take it, when you do play close and charge, the hitter has to do a lot of things. He's got to, if he tries to hit the ball, he almost got Bumbry.
Boy, he almost got Bumbry. My goodness.
Well, he's got a good move, and it's a little tricky move. It's like in between a balk and a good one.
The Senor, very clever. Boy, he really... Well, the count's gone to 2 balls, no strikes. And
that should be a good play to get things moving. You know he's got to throw a strike. Well, he wants to anyway. I was having a little problem with his footwork there. He slipped as soon as he started back towards the bag.
I like the way first base umpire Garcia moves on the play. He doesn't just give you that nonchalant. He's in there. He's right on top of the play. Very quickly, very alertly. Takes the best angle he can get. Now the 2-0. Whoop! All right. That's 3 of them, isn't it, Brooks, or 4? Pickoff throws to first.
That's 3, I believe.
3, I know.
I thought I missed 2 outs again, Chuck.
No, now Belanger's got him in some trouble. 3 balls and no strikes.
Well, this would be a good spot to have him take one, make him throw a strike. I wonder if Mark's ever had a 3-0 hit sign.
I wonder if Bumbry will be holding or taking. He's holding. And the take was on as Brooks suggested. Okay, they made him throw the strike. Now let's see what they do with the 3-1.
I think I'd have him moving one way or the other.
Well, they were holding him on the 3-0. And then they're probably going to hold again. See what they do or not. Yeah. Bumbry says, I got you figured now. By the time you have him figured, you're out.
That's right. Earl does not like to hit and run. He has 1 or 2 guys who he really has enough faith in to let him try to handle a bat in any situation. Rich Dauer, for one. Mark has
That's the ball 4.
Hit and run once in a while.
That'll be walk number 3 issued by Tiant. And that's Billy Martin. Tough guy is Billy Martin. That's a terrible accident. The tragedy that befell the Munson family just shattered Martin. It'll be a little while before he recovers. Belanger at first, Bumbry at second, Singleton, who has gone 0 for 2 against Tiant, a ground out to third, a fly ball to left field. 1-0 lead, Baltimore here on the top of the 6th inning. No activity in the Yankee bullpen, but just as I looked, the phone rang out there, and they're up to answer it, so they're going to get somebody busy out there, Brooks. 1-0 to Singleton.
Looks like Davis.
Hit pretty good to right field. Jackson's right there. He's got it. Bumbry will try for third, and the throw comes to second base. All right. First and third with 1 out now, as Singleton has been retired. And here now is Eddie Murray, who has popped to the third baseman and fly to the left fielder.
Ron Davis and Jim Cott. Or Jim Cott.
Cott.
Jim
right.
Cott. Boy.
That Davis done a job 9-1.
9-1.
He was a throw-in on the Cub deal for Kidrow. Some throw-in. My goodness. Well, a 1-out threat. See if Murray can figure out the Senor. That's a foul ball. Houston leads Atlanta 2-1 after 4 innings. San Diego and they took it away from me. I can't tell you about San Diego. These modern-day scoreboards, you have to be looking at them at the right time to get your scores. That's the situation here at the Yankee Stadium. Baltimore 1-0 with 1 out. Tiant's 1-strike pitch to Ed Murray. Belanger's going. Ball, and Belanger will take the base. Narron had to make sure of Bumbry, and he took the look, and all you do is give up the run when you do that, and that's heady baseball because it wipes out the normal double play possibility and also forces the Yankees to change their strategy now as you see the infield coming up. A count of a ball and a strike to Ed Murray. A ball and 2 strikes. And this great crowd now getting into it for Tiant's benefit. They want to see him strike out Murray. Two and two. Tiant really does a lot of things, and most of them are very good.
And that was a good pitch by Louis. 2 strikes, 1 ball. The tough pitch for Eddie Murray to lay off of. See if he throws him a big overhand curve this time again. Nope.
Check swing foul out of play. Jim Spencer has been sent to the mound to say something to Tiant. And the 2-2 pitch is due with 1 away. Runners at second and third. Well, I'll say that old fellow out there has got his smarts. We're pausing 5 seconds for station identification on the Orioles 79 Baseball Network.
You're watching the flagship station of the Orioles Baseball Network, WMAR-TV 2, Baltimore.
Again, we're back to the 2-2 pitch with 1 out.
Well, this is a big man right here for him, Chuck, and might determine whether he's going to stay in the ball game or not.
That looked as though it might have been an overhand curveball. I'm not really 100% sure, but he got up on top of the pitch, whatever, and didn't find the strike zone.
And I would say that Eddie's being rather selective right now, which is a good sign.
Narron's going to go out and visit with Louie. He'll come into your picture there, they are. Ron Davis and the big veteran left-hander Jim Cott are at work in the Yankee bullpen.
When you got a pitcher like Davis who's been pitching as well as he has, you're not hesitant to go to the bullpen. You go as soon as you think you have to. You don't wait around. This time of the year, you've got to play it a little different. And the Yankees, if they're going to make any headway, they've got to change things around.
True. A run on 2 hits for the Orioles. No runs, 2 hits for the Yankees. McGregor against Tiant tonight, if he just came in. 3-2 to Murray. Well, you'd have to say that Tiant picked a heck of a spot for his first strikeout.
Well, he did. He threw to Eddie Murray better than he's thrown to anyone all night. And the good thing about it, he got him in the hole with 2 strikes with breaking balls, and then he went to all fastballs, except for the one pitch where Eddie laid off to make it 3-2.
Right.
And then he threw the fastball right by him. There's Jim Cott on your left and Davis on your right.
Billy Martin went in to talk to Tiant about Lowenstein. You want to work on him, or should we, let him go with that base open and work on DeCinces, or...
Well, what I think he told him, Chuck, is, look, you got first base open with 2 outs.
Yep.
Now, make him hit your pitch. Don't give him anything good to hit.
Well, chasing it is center fielder Brown, and whoops, he almost, but he held on. Lost his footing, but held on. No harm done. Orioles threaten, cannot score. And you'll take a look at this picture again.
There it is. It wasn't a bad pitch for Tiant, but Lowenstein really hit it. Here we'll see Brown going after it, and you'll see him stumble here, almost lose his footing. It is wet out there. Watch this recovery.
That's it at the end of 5 1/2. The Orioles won, the Yankees nothing.
I'm Earl Weaver. You know, the Yankees and the Red Sox have nothing on us this year because we have a brand new member on our team. The SK Orioles hot dog. SK packs 8 big ones to a pound. So each one is plumper and juicier and filled with more of that fine taste and flavor that SK is famous for. SK Orioles hot dogs. At home or at the stadium, the only hot dog good enough to be called Orioles.
I might have died if it weren't for these ever-ready batteries with a cat on the label.
A car had crashed on an old bridge. As I radioed for help, the weakened bridge collapsed. Suddenly, I was 30 feet underwater. I came up dazed and hurt. Am I glad my flashlight had ever-ready batteries? After about an hour, I was rescued. I believe in that ever-ready cat.
Get ever-ready batteries in the economy pack. They'll save you money. They could save your life.
A numbers game. Now play your numbers straight and boxed on the same dollar ticket. Play today and cash tonight, even on multiple day tickets. But you got to play to win.
Well, a great clutch pitching performance from the veteran Louis Tiant. Striking out Eddie Murray was the key to the inning, I believe, for Tiant. June the 25th, some unknown fan became the 25th million person to attend an Oriole ball game. So the Orioles want to say thanks to all of their fans who have made 25 million in 25 years possible. They do that Tuesday night, August the 7th, when all fans 15 years of age and older will receive a commemorative Orioles antique silver keychain absolutely free. This is Randolph, and a ball 1. Randolph has flied to right and popped to second in 2 previous turns. Ball 2. Here's the fellow who shut down the Orioles completely with that good running catch through the very sloppy going in center field. That's all the Yankees need, to have him fall down into that fly ball, and they'd have been in serious trouble. 2-1 to Randolph.
I don't blame the umpires on a situation like that. I'd call it a strike 2 when a guy tries to duck under 1.
Well, Billy Martin, you saw giving Denkinger a little heat out of the dugout. Here's McGregor. Boy, he made a good play. He made a good play to get Randolph. That was an outstanding bunt. Infield, of course, is in much better condition as you look at Earl Weaver down on the runway than the outfield, having been covered all night. But there are some spots in that outfield, as you saw Bob Brown chasing the drive off the bat of Lowenstein, that will give them difficulty. And here is the aforementioned Bobby Brown, recently recalled from Columbus.
You look at that Columbus ball club, Chuck. They're running away with that International League. They're making shambles of it.
The 1-0 to Bob.
That's where you got to pitch this young fellow, because as we said before in the start of the broadcast, he likes the ball on the inside half of the plate. You got to keep everything away from him. I don't think he can reach it the way he stands off the plate and where he steps. Got good speed. A lot of ways to get on when you can run.
That's DeCinces right alongside of the bag. Count 2 balls and strike to Brown. 1 out. 2 and 2. Now you see it, now you don't. Ball looked like it was going down and away from Brown.
That's exactly where it was.
Well, that'll fill the count, 3 and 2. Well, Milwaukee 3-0 over the Red Sox. 6 innings in Milwaukee tonight. That's a 5-game series. They do it again tomorrow. They play 2 on Sunday. In the gap, left center, Lowenstein is there, and he stays on his feet to make the catch.
John got a good jump on that ball and was hit so well, the ball was curving back towards Lowenstein, and he had a chance to get under it. A good shot right here. You can see him. It's ahead of the bat out there and really hits it well. Good shot is right.
Boy, he stayed with it, stayed down on the ball.
Looked like it might be a gapper when he hit it, but it curved right back to Lowenstein as he went towards center field.
Here's Jackson, who tonight has walked and been called out on strikes. It's Dauer. He makes sure that ball doesn't get through. 3 up, 3 down, 10 in a row for McGregor at the end of 6. Orioles 1, the Yankees 0.
Take a check. Any ID? Identification? Driver's license.
Don't you have a welcome check, sir?
Credit card?
Sir, if you had welcome checks, you wouldn't need any of these.
None of them?
Welcome check tells me your check is okay, and it's good at thousands of stores.
Thousands?
Got a birth certificate?
Yeah.
Get welcome check free at Equitable Trust Bank.
This Bud for every man who works with fire and steel. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Chevy's Best is on sale. The new Chevrolet Caprice and Impala. America's favorite family-sized cars and wagons. One's being bought every 30 seconds of every selling day. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo, with its impressive gas mileage rating. Special incentives to Chevy dealers now make possible savings of hundreds of dollars. So Chevy's Best is on sale. See your Chevy dealer now and save.
Well, we'll go now to the top of the seventh inning. DeCinces, who against Tiant walked in the second inning and popped to the second baseman in the fourth inning. Tiant in one stretch. Brooks retired 10 in a row, and then McGregor turned right around and has retired 10 in a row. Game belongs to Tiant and McGregor at the moment.
Pitching good baseball, both of them, and DeCinces got a little respect last time, Chuck, because that had been a perfect spot to walk Lowenstein to get to DeCinces, a right-hander against a right-hander, and he elected to pitch to Lowenstein.
And the one-strike pitch to Doug. The hook, the swerve, or whatever it was.
Some of those pitches like that, they're just unhittable.
Oh, they really disappear in a hurry, I'll say that. Every time I look at DeCinces swinging the bat, as we see Dennis Martinez in the Orioles dugout, which is on the third base side of this Yankee Stadium. Dennis will be pitching Monday night against the Yankees. Every time I see DeCinces swing, I think about the home run he hit off Guidry. 1-2. That ball was really touched off. Went into the Yankee bullpen, which is in left center field. Over the sign says 430 feet. Now we've got the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now the Orioles had runners at first and second with nobody out in the 6th inning and couldn't get anybody through. 2-2 now to DeCinces. There's the skipper, Earl Weaver, and to his immediate right is pitching coach Ray Miller. Popped him up. Nettles at third base.
I checked him out that time, Tiant, Chuck, and every pitch was a different speed from a different spot. And that's really what pitching is all about. I think, as I said before, one of the secrets is in knowing where a guy throws the ball from or where he releases it. But Tiant, you just got no one spot that you can look for the ball to be released.
And changing speeds and changing the position of where the ball is thrown. He's just a lot of fun to watch. I imagine he's no fun at all to swing the bat against, but he's a lot of fun to watch. Look at that. Looks like a young guy in a Sandlot game somewhere, huh? But every pitch has a purpose. There's a reason why he does. That's to set up something he's probably going to throw Kelly right now, yeah? And he set it up pretty good, I'd say. Showcased a little. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tell you, boy, that fellow that you just saw has got a lot of pitching savvy. Oh, my. How do you hit that pitch?
Change, fastball, and a hard curve.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Kelly. The Mets and Montreal 6-6 tie after 8 innings. Pirates lead the Phillies 2-0 after 5 in the second game. The Pirates won the first one 6-3. Cubs 4-2 over the Cardinals today. Yeah, he couldn't stop it. That's a strikeout. Number 2 for Tiant. Batter now is going to be Rich Dauer. Well, shortstop Bucky Dent 3 up and 3 down. At the end of 6 1/2. Orioles 1, Yankees nothing.
Before you buy any van or truck, see Gladding. Your choice, vans or pickups. Just $95 a month, only at Gladding Chevrolet.
People do some crazy things to get better mileage. The Gulf would like to recommend a few that aren't so crazy, like replacing worn-out spark plugs, switching to a multi-grade oil, even adjusting your brakes. These simple things can get you better mileage, and that's smart. To get the most out of the gas you buy and the place you buy it. Try Smart. How's it work? Not so good in the car wash.
The numbers game. If you thought it was fun before, you ought to see us now. The numbers game has a brand new look and some brand new ways to play. Want to play all the combinations of your number? Now do it with just one fast ticket. Want to play your number straight and box? Play it on the same dollar ticket. Play today and cash tonight, now even on multiple day tickets. But you gotta play to win.
Well, Papa said, well, ain't no more in my home. You and the hand job, I got to go. Well, I said, Papa, don't put me down. They're doing the hand job.
Shannon Og, Tuesday night at 7:30 on Channel 2.
Hand job.
Lou Piniella is due to lead off, and you see this crowd. It is 51,151. 51,151. And here is Piniella, who has struck out twice. But this time it should be Singleton's play in right field.
That brings their home attendance, Chuck, to almost 1,700,000.
We're going to be playing in Memorial Stadium Tuesday night against the Milwaukee Brewers. Batter now is going to be Graig Nettles, who has grounded a second and fly to the left fielder. Fellas swung the home run bat so well. Eddie Moore. Now Eddie's got to make the play unassisted. I was just going to say, oh, what a nifty catch by Ed Murray. And it turns out to be an unassisted play by Murray at first to bring up Roy White, who was bounced to short, popped to the first baseman. 76, Nettles hit 32 home runs. 77, he hit 37. Last year, 27. This is the last half of the 7th inning. The Orioles 1-0, virtue of John Lowenstein's home run with nobody on in the 2nd inning. Tiant and McGregor have been doing it. Out of play.
You're looking at the senior member of this team, joined the Yankees back in 1965. I don't like to see this guy come up when it's a game-winning situation. As far as I'm concerned, he can do it better than anybody on that Yankee ball club.
And the 1-1 pitch to Roy. 2-1 now. He's done it a few times in his illustrious career as a Yankee. Hits from both sides of the plate. Two-out single, and the string is stopped at 12 in a row, retired by McGregor. And that'll bring up the left-handed bat of Jim Spencer, who doubled in the 2nd and flied to center field in the 5th inning.
That was Roy White's 1,785th career hit, which passes Tony Lazzari, puts him in sole possession of 8th place in the all-time Yankees list.
And that base hit by Roy White passed an illustrious Yankee of yesteryear by the name of Tony Lazzari, and puts him now in 8th place in the all-time Yankee list for number of base hits. And you know the Yankees have had some tremendous hitters in their history.
The tough guy to deal with right here. It's a good park to hit in for Jim Spencer. A much better park for left-hand hitters. We've got a few left-hand hitters sitting on the bench over there. Chris Chambliss has had a pulled back muscle and missed a few ball games. Oscar Gamble is here. Bobby Mercer came over from the Cubs not too long ago.
2 out on the inning. Runner at first base is Roy White. And a 1-ball, no strike count to Jim Spencer. Look out. Watson Singleton. He's got to play. No trouble. It's another long fly ball. Final out of the inning at the end of 7 innings from Yankee Stadium. Orioles 1, Yankees nothing.
To everyone who helped take us out to the ball game, this bud's for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Datsun pickups get higher mileage estimates than the standard half-tonners by far. And they carry even more payload than some of those bigger trucks. Now that's a truck that hauls your payload and saves your paycheck.
Put your money in the bank, not in the tank. Why it's not
to save you money.
Well, before a dandy crowd of 51,151, Rick Dempsey opens the 8th inning for the Orioles against Louis Tiant. These fellas have really pitched a tremendous ball game. The Orioles 1 run on a 2-hitter being thrown by Tiant. One of the 2 was the home run by Lowenstein. McGregor stopping the Yankees on 3 hits and shutting them out. Both bullpens are activated now. And the 1-strike pitch to Dempsey. A little high.
Dave Ford throwing in the bullpen for the Orioles. Jim Cott.
And probably Ron Davis, huh?
Yes.
A ball to strike now to Rick. Nope, didn't quite get it. 2 balls to strike. It's Dempsey, Bumbry, and Belanger. Those are the do batters. The Orioles had a heck of a shot at Tiant in the 6th inning. Couldn't break through. Bumbry opened up with a 3-1 with a swinging bunt base hit right in front of the plate. Belanger walked, and the Orioles really had it going. Singleton lined out to the right fielder, and then Eddie Murray, with runners at 2nd and 3rd, struck out, and Lowenstein flied to the center fielder. Dempsey starts with a walk. That will be number 4 for Tiant. That's got Billy Martin moving around again down in that dugout. Art Fowler is his pitching coach. And here now comes Bumbry. Now, Bumbry has one of the 2 Oriole hits. Lowenstein's home run, and Bumbry, who took a full cut at the ball in the 6th inning, just nudged it about 10, 15 feet away from the plate. And there was nothing that Narron could do about throwing him out.
Narron is just giving Tiant a little breather right now, just in time for the fellows in the bullpen to get hot.
Billy Martin's youngster in the Yankee dugout. You know, it's kind of unusual. For the most part, when the catcher goes to the mound, he's the guy that does the talking while the pitcher listens. In this case, Narron was just standing there and nodding his head and listening to what Tiant had to say. Billy Martin's youngster, incidentally, is the honorary bat boy. Now, see how the Orioles are going to play it. That's not a bunt. Not in any way. Here comes Piniella. He's there. One gone. Well, Belanger might be due for one of those little shots into right field. Whoop, hold it. Billy Martin's going to go out and talk to Tiant. Now, Belanger dives, popped the second fly to left and walk. And Martin very slowly going to the mound. And when I see Martin going that way, usually that means he's going to go to the pen. But he has not, to the best of my knowledge, given any sign yet. Usually when Billy is going to take a pitcher out, he'll take that very slow, very casual stroll. If he has information to pass along, he just jogs out there. And now we've got Gossage along with Cott in that bullpen. And Martin's going to go right along with Tiant, and that will meet the approval of the fans, I'm sure.
Chuck, we had a situation there. Bumbry had laid down the bunt and got him over. Earl decided to go try to hit him over.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Bumbry never pulls the ball too much. And in that situation, if you're not going to bunt, that'd be a good situation to really try to pull the ball. But he threw out to left field.
Well, they pitched out, and Belanger ran the hands up the bat. Right?
Well, if he gets him over, it's going to be up to Eddie Murray, because I'm sure that he'll probably be walking Ken Singleton. If you're going to try to get him over now, you should have tried to get him over the first time.
Except they figure that Belanger's a much better bunter, and he didn't prove it in that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Mark is not giving himself up. This is, when he bunts now, that's a bunt for a base hit. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the ball down where he can beat it out. If Bumbry would have been bunting in that situation, more than likely he'd been giving himself up.
Texas now leading Cleveland 8-1 there in the 9th inning, and is Minnesota 3-0 over California in the 5th inning. Last we heard, it was Milwaukee 3-0 over the Red Sox in the 5th inning. Now we go to 2 balls and a strike to Belanger. On deck hitter, Ken Singleton. Ooh, what a pitch. That was not a very good swing, and that pitch obviously fooled Mark completely. And the 2-2 from Tiant to Belanger. Don't tell anybody tell you this fella can't pitch. I don't care how old he is. Boy, he made some pitches. Look at this.
Fastball, right on by.
And the batter now is Singleton. 1-0 Baltimore. We are in the top of the 8th inning with 2 out. And Dempsey, the runner at first. Ball 1. You got to, you know, when you're watching a fellow like Tiant, as you are tonight, it's a lot of fun to just try and guess what kind of pitches to expect. And I'll guarantee you, if you guess right once, you're a lucky fella. Or a lucky lady, as the case might be.
Well, when I hit off, I think I'll just look for the fastball more than anything else, Chuck. You're going to get it one time, every time you're up there, you're going to get it once or twice. But you just look for the fastball and try to battle everything else that he has. And if it's real slow, you just try to take it. But if it's a fast curve, you might be able to adjust a little.
Ball and 2 strikes. He is a marvel, is this man. How old did he say he was?
We don't know. 39.
39. Jack Benny, 39, huh? Now the 1-2 to single him with 2 out. Two and 2. Now, is that his fastball, Brooks?
Yes.
Looks like he tries to turn it a little bit, but it's just riding fastball just rides away a little, huh? Depending on how he grips it.
He's had a very good fastball tonight.
2-2 to Singleton. On the breaking ball, he makes short work of Singleton. Another fine inning. At the end of 7 1/2, the Orioles won, and the Yankees nothing.
Tomorrow, Bill's Carpet Warehouse presents the most spectacular sale in its history. A 6-hour countdown sale. Tomorrow, all warehouses will be closed until noon to mark down prices. Then there will be only 6 hours to save on every item. Room-size rugs up to 12 by 15, only $50. All carpet discounted 33 to 51%. If you need carpet and don't see bills tomorrow, you're making a big mistake.
I enjoy the make-believe world of acting, but in real life I know that you have to plan for happy endings. And a good way for Marylanders to plan ahead is by trusting your finances to the money managers at the savings bank. High interest on your savings, of course, plus free checking, and for the important things, personal loans. There are so many things the money managers do for your happy endings at any office of the Savings Bank of Baltimore.
The next McDonald's night at the stadium is Wednesday, August 8th, when the Orioles take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Look for ticket details at your nearby participating McDonald's.
Well, we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and you're wondering who that is. It's not Narron. You're right. It's Oscar Gamble. Gamble is going to bat for Narron, and I'm going to give you a rundown on the scoreboard. In the National League, the Mets and Montreal are in a 6-6 tie at the end of 7. It is Houston 4-1 over Atlanta. They are now in the 6th inning. San Diego 3, Cincinnati 2. They're in the top of the 8th. In the second game of the doubleheader, the Pirates 2, the Phillies nothing. In the last half of the 5th inning, Pirates 6-3 winners in the first game. And the Cubs won over the Cardinals 4-2. Kansas City won the first game of the doubleheader against Detroit 5-3. And at the end of 5 innings of play in the second game, Detroit 3-2 over the Royals. Chicago's White Sox beat Toronto 8-5. Trout the winner, Moore the loser. And Texas 8, Cleveland 1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Indians got a long way to get caught up on that one. Milwaukee 5, Boston 1 at the end of 6 innings. Minnesota 3-0 over California in the bottom of the 7th. And here is Oscar Gamble, who has a .335 average. And we have a Yankee player charging in from the bullpen. One of the Yankee catchers.
Must be the young fellow they just added.
That's exactly who it is. Golden. That's who it is, Golden.
This is a good fellow to have come off the bench for you.
2 strikes to Gamble.
It's a tough job, pinch hitting. Gamble's been around a while, had some good years in the big leagues, San Diego, Texas, Chicago, New York, and now he's back here.
That takes care of Oscar Gamble.
Well, that's one thing a pinch hitter has to do, is start swinging when you come off the bench, and he did. Good changeup, the last pitch by McGregor.
Now Bucky Dent, who has fly to center and fly to left. Oh, boy, what a rim runner we've got tonight. Jeepers. Of course, I guess, a lot of fans figure, well, 1-0's great. Yeah, I like those. Give me those 14-12 ball games or something like that. Strike one to Dent. And I think I don't know whether baseball fans are evenly divided in that issue, but probably are close to it. Base hit Dent. Belanger running that down. Belanger did a whale of a job getting back in left field to run that ball down. Dent might have had ideas about trying to go to second because he knew the ball was going to stop when it got to the outfield. And the batter now, Willie Randolph, who was fly to right, popped to second, tried to bunt his way on, and McGregor made a good play to retire him in the 6th inning.
Royal bullpen starting to heat up. Tippy Martinez, Dave Ford.
Ford and Martinez. Ball one. Well, you say Ford and Martinez. I'll tell you what, Stanhouse hasn't been in the ball game for a long time. That's the left-hander is Tippy, and the right-hander is Dave Ford. Oh, yes. The Frisbee curveball, so to speak. Yes, sir, July the 24th, the last time Stanhouse has been in a ball game. Days.
Bucky Dent's not a threat to steal. In fact, the lead he's taken is about 2 feet.
Got a Brooks Robinson lead, huh?
Got a Brooks Robinson lead. Don't have to worry about getting picked off over there.
Now, Mac had a little trouble with a change-up, 2 balls and a strike now to Randolph.
I think Mac ought to be thinking right now is keep the ball down, maybe get a ground ball for a double play. Randolph likes the ball out over the plate as far as you can get it. He likes to reach for it, hit it the other way.
Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The weather has changed a little bit here at Yankee Stadium. It was kind of close and very humid when we arrived in New York today. Tonight, it seems to be not nearly so humid as we move through the late innings of our ball game. McGregor's 2-2 to Randolph. Base hit. And the Yankees have got him at first and second with 1 away. And the rookie Bob Brown is due. $51,151, and number 4 is on his way. Earl Weaver making his first appearance of the evening. He's going to go out and visit with Scott McGregor. You could hardly ask for any more than McGregor has given the Orioles tonight. His teammates have given him 1 run to work with, and for 7 1/3 innings, he's made it stand up. Reggie Jackson with a little lesson for the benefit of the rookie Bob Brown, and the Oriole bullpen shows you right-hander Dave Ford and left-hander Tippy Martinez. And Weaver has decided that he will stay with McGregor. Seven innings now. Milwaukee 5, Boston 1.
Could be an awful tough guy to double up here.
You better believe he is.
He can run, and that The last pitch by McGregor to Randolph was, I'm sure, not the place that Scotty wanted it. It was above the belt, and he just roped it to left field.
The best shot at the double play with a guy like Brown right now is a sharp ground ball to Doug and have him step on the bag and throw. Doug being DeCinces. Ooh, what a save. Because Doug is very close to the line and just behind the bag at third. Watch this. Rick Dempsey. The most important thing, get the body in front of the ball. He did it very well. Now the 1-0 to Brown. Bumbry in deep center field, tagging at second is Dent. There's the catch. Bumbry will throw to second base, and not in time. Dent takes third. Randolph takes second on Brown's drive into center field. It would have been a home run in a lot of ballparks.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Earl make a change right here. He hit this ball a long way, about 420 feet. And Earl's he's debating right now within himself, what should I do?
Well, against Reggie Jackson tonight, McGregor walked him in the first inning, struck him out in the third, and then got him in a ground ball to Dauer in the sixth inning. 2 out, bottom of the eighth. DeCinces and Belanger. DeCinces should make the play. He's got it, and McGregor has battled his way out of a mess in the eighth inning, and at the end of 8 completed, Yankee Stadium, down those goosebumps. The score, Baltimore 1, the Yankees 0.
To everybody who puts in a hard day's work, this Bud's for you.
This Bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This Bud's for you. This Bud's for you. For all you do, the kid of beer is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
Hey, this Bud's for you.
How come so many professionals wear Brute? Because the great smell of Brute makes a guy feel good. And that's important when you've got to take on the world every day. That's why so many professionals also wear Brute 33 antiperspirant spray. It helps keep you dry, and it gives you that long-lasting deodorant protection. And it has the great smell of Brute. Hey, if you're going to smell great, why not smell great all over?
Take on the world with Brute 33 deodorants and antiperspirants. Spray, stick, and roll on.
Well, we have a new battery for you to watch in the top of the ninth inning. It'll be Murray, Lowenstein, and DeCinces, and they'll have the privilege of swinging against the Goose, Gossage, who will relieve Tiant, and there's a new catcher now, Brad Golden. Brad Golden is catching, and Gossage is pitching. Tiant turns in an outstanding 8-inning stint for the Yankees. 2 base hits, a home run by Lowenstein in the second inning, a swinging bunt scratch hit by Bumbry in the sixth inning. He walks 4, strikes out 3, gives up the run, and now Gossage takes over. And the Goose on the year, this is only his 13th ball game, thanks to Cliff Johnson. He's won 1 and lost 2, 19 innings of work, 19 hits, 10 earned runs, 9 walks, 10 strikeouts. Spring training in August for Gossage.
It is spring training in August. As you know, in spring training this year, he had a broken toe, missed most of spring training. Then he had a little incident with Cliff Johnson where he tore some ligaments in his thumb, had to have it operated on, and he is just now in the process of spring training, building up his arm. And he's been out there several times to pitch, and he has not gone that many innings because it's simply a a fact that you have to pitch slowly and build yourself up, and that's what he's doing arm-wise, Chuck.
Eddie Murray is out of play with the first swing, strike one.
This fella had 27 saves for this ball club last year, and he's the big reason that this club went on to win the World Championship. From July on, when they put him in there in the 6th or 7th inning, it was Katie bar the door.
And the one-strike pitch to Murray. 1-1 now. Unless you misunderstand my remark about Cliff Johnson, there was certainly no intent. It was absolutely accidental. They were kind of fooling around in the clubhouse, but he was involved in the action that caused the thumb problem. Cliff, let's watch second baseman Randolph. One gone. Now Lowenstein.
Gossage is a power pitcher. Sinker, slider, never changes speeds. He just goes right after you. He tries to keep the ball down as much, but he gets by just on velocity more than anything else. Herky-jerky, and when he's in the groove, he's awful tough to hit, especially on a right-hander. I would say that this guy right here, this guy right here is, the harder they throw, the better he likes it, Lowenstein, so we got a pretty good battle.
Well, his 11th home run is the difference in the ball game. Well, there's a check swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, that ball explodes in on you. Does Gossage change the grip on the ball to try and make it sail and move a little bit, or does he just let her go?
He just lets her go, Chuck.
Took a nice hop for Spencer, and Jim...
He's just the type of guy who does not believe you can hit him. He's got a lot of confidence, and if he feels like that the way he throws, if he gets the ball over, nobody's going to hit him. And he is, like I say, hard slider. When you go up there, his slider's almost as hard as his fastball. So you just look for one thing, and that's hard, harder.
Well, here's Doug DeCinces has walked, popped to second, and popped to third. And let's see what happens with Gossage. Ball 1.
Well, Gossage and Doug have had some good battles. Doug's been on the seat of his pants a couple of times. He's taken Gossage downtown a few times.
Here's Dent. That's the final out. Hang on. 3 up, 3 down at the end of 8 1/2 from Yankee Stadium. The Orioles won, the Yankees nothing.
Where do you go for the new Datsun you want? Nationwide Datsun, Maryland's largest import dealer, has hundreds in stock. A new 79 Datsun 210 is only $37.99. You have your choice. Pay only $21 down or $21 per month. A new 79 MGB is only $59.99 with only $89 down or only $89 per month. Nationwide Datsun has new Datsun 280ZXs for only $87.99 and only $99 down or $99 per month at Phil Schaefer's Nationwide Datsun, York and Timonium Road.
The next McDonald's night at the stadium, Wednesday, August 8th, is Stuffle Bag Night. Fans under 18 redeeming McDonald's night coupons at McDonald's Stadium booth will receive a free Stuffle Bag. Coupons available with the purchase of a big meal or a small meal at all participating McDonald's. McDonald's Stuffle Bag Night at the stadium. So come to Memorial Stadium August 8th and get your free Stuffle Bag from McDonald's. It's gonna be a hit.
Well, Scotty McGregor takes the hill, ready to go to the bottom of the 9th with a 1-0 lead. Here comes Piniella. The story on Piniella: he struck out on the 1st, struck out on the 4th, flied deep to right field in the 7th inning. He will be followed by Nettles, who has grounded to second, flied to left, and gone out unassisted to Eddie Murray. And then Roy White is due, who has grounded to short, popped to first, and singled. Deckinger is going out toward McGregor. I think he wants to take a look at the baseball. That's exactly what he wants. Apparently it's all right, and they're going to keep it in play.
Chuck, here's where a pitcher such as McGregor should really make an effort to stay away from a guy like Piniella. They can hit the ball the other way if he's going to hit it.
He didn't stay away from him. Well, the Yankees now have had 4 hits in the last 2 innings plus a man. And we're looking for Earl Weaver. That's not away from him. That's right in over the plate.
Yep.
And Weaver is on his way. McGregor makes one pitch, gives up the base hit. And this is not to say that McGregor is out of the ball game, but I kind of have a feeling he might be. We'll know in a minute. Yep, that's it. You saw that move on the part of manager Earl Weaver. That means, McGregor, you've given us the best you can give us tonight. It's been an outstanding job. And the left-handed bat of Graig Nettles is due. And from the bullpen, Tippy Martinez will be summoned to see if he can handle it. So let's take a look at the record of Scott McGregor. Tonight he pitches 8 innings plus 1 man. There are 6 Yankee base hits, a double and 5 singles. Along the way, McGregor has struck out 6 men and has walked only 1 and has not given up a run, is responsible for Piniella at first base. And from the bullpen will come Tippy Martinez. And while Tippy makes his way to the mound, let's pause for 1 minute.
I throw a lot of curves throughout the season, but I've never thrown you a curve when telling you about Town & Country Datsun. In this showroom, over 50 new Datsuns are here on display. And here's the man to see at Town & Country Datsun, Mr. Nobody.
My Datsuns give up to 47 miles per gallon. And remember, nobody but Mr. Nobody sells for less. Town & Country Datsun AMC Jeep is conveniently located just 1 mile south of Beltway Exit 31 in Parkville.
JCPenney kicks off the new season with an unbeatable sale. Right now, save on our entire lineup of coats and jackets. You'll find every size and every style, from the ever-popular P-jacket to the newest looks in suede. From nylon jackets colorfully quilted to poplins with knit collars and cuffs. You'll also find classics like herringbones, smartly tailored leathers, and timeless, seasonless trench coats. All at savings that can't be beat. This is one sale you shouldn't pass up.
From the bullpen now, the Orioles have summoned the left-hander, Tippy Martinez. And Tippy on the year has won 6, lost 1. This will be his 23rd appearance, all in relief. He's been credited with 1 save, 46 and 1/3 inning, 30 base hits, 14 runs, no home runs, 17 walks, and 30 strikeouts. And the last time he worked was the 30th against Milwaukee, relieved Stone, as you remember, in that Monday night ball game with 2 out, and got Cease Cooper on a fly ball to left field in 1 pitch. And Stone won the ball game 2-1.
You also have Dave Ford warming in the bullpen, but it looks like it's going to be up to Tippy right now. Usually in this situation, Stanhouse is warming up, but he's not even in the bullpen tonight. He's a little under the weather, running a temperature. And I'd say Tippy's out there to do the job.
Well, Tippy against Graig Nettles. These guys were teammates. Runner at first base, Lou Piniella. How about that? Nettles bunting.
Well, that is a surprise right there. Bottom of the 9th, behind 1-0. Eddie Murray holding a runner on first base. I think that's a situation where you got to try to do something besides bunt.
Son of a gun, that really surprised me. I'm sure. I guess I've seen Nettles bunt before, but not very often. 8 innings, Milwaukee 5-1 over the Red Sox. And again, Nettles was bunting. A ball and a strike.
He wants to leave it up to Spencer and White. White and Spencer.
Well, it's kind of strange, I'll tell you it is. This fella could hit it out of here with 1 swing. And runner going to second, he'll be a dead duck. Oh, Dempsey said, look what I found. Fresh meat on the table. Piniella and Nettles swinging to try and help him. I'll tell you, you need a lot more help in the swing when Pinella's running.
Oh, look at that throw. Just as good as you'll ever see. Dempsey can throw with anybody in the history of baseball. Outstanding. And it was a weak swing by Nettles, too. I don't really understand that play.
Nettles bunting and you run Piniella? I don't know.
The ball was out of the strike zone. I
Well, he was trying to protect Piniella, that's all.
Well, I think it was like the run and hit, Chuck, or whatever you want to call it, the hit and run. But he didn't make contact.
Well, I think anytime you run Piniella, you're helping us. Helping the Orioles. Now the 2-2 pitch to Nettles. Just missing. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Houston 4-1 over Atlanta in the 8th inning. 8th inning, it's still 5-1 Milwaukee over Boston. Detroit 3-2 over Kansas City after 7. White Sox beat Toronto 8-5. Now the 3-2 pitch to Nettles. 1 out. You're gone. Strike 3 is called. 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. And the batter will be Roy White.
Oh, that was outstanding pitching, Chuck. 3-2, and Tippy threw a ball down and he fouled off. And then he came right back, and I know that in that situation, all you have to do if you're a pitcher, all Tippy's thinking is, look, I want to throw a strike and I want to keep it down as much as I can. But it happened to be on the inside part of the plate and really threw Nettles completely. He had been pitching away the whole time.
Might be it. If Singleton gets to it, it is all over in Yankee Stadium. Tippy Martinez came on and did nothing but a slam-bang job. That is it. The Yankees, no runs, a base hit, no errors, and nobody left. That's it. The Orioles win it 1-0. Back with a recap for you right after this message.
Smith Motor Company, Baltimore's largest Dodge car and truck dealership, says let's make a deal. Choose from over 500 new and used cars and trucks with factory-authorized money-saving discounts.